posted 7:30 like I usually do. So
Yeah.
7:30, we're on. Hi guys. Hi.
Yo!
Well, looks like we're gonna try and hold off and wait a little bit for Taliesin to join us.
Oh, he's typing right now by the looks of things, and I'm looking
Several
for my
people are
notepad
typing.
before we start. There it is.
Yeah, if he's gonna be here in just a minute, then no point in doing it. But if he's gonna be like,
He said, "Go ahead and start with the recap. I should be there in 5."
okay,
Sweet.
if that's how he feels about it, then that's how we can do this.
I like that idea.
We could do the opposite of the way we could do the opposite of the way I'd been thinking of it, which is the party collectively votes, and then something happens. Instead, we could be like, let's ask the person who's not there and get their response. But if he hadn't responded, what would you have wanted?
If he hadn't responded, then we could have just done whatever we want, because what he doesn't know doesn't hurt him.
That is
Much.
provably
Talishan's shoelaces are tied together.
In this case, us starting early wouldn't really hurt him.
Oh, suck it.
Unless we were, like,
Gigantic
about
happening
finishing
here.
combat.
Yeah, I hope you guys don't just start fights with random town shopkeepers, but it would not surprise me. So,
come
you know,
on.
I have stats ready for random shopkeep in case you do
I mean,
start a fight with
unless-
them, so it's fine.
I mean, any blatant acts of slavery or racism.
Yeah, right? Like, maybe the shopkeep's like a total asshole. All right,
In this case, we should have probably killed Sildar, because he was a little racist.
so on your quest log proper, I don't know if anybody's been keeping it, but I've been keeping one for you. You have the deliver the cart of goods.
Yep.
Which you've done for your 50 gold, though there is still now a sub-quest of rescuing Gundren Rockseeker. You also had one that was escorting Sildar to Phandalin, promised to give you 50 gold to escort him. And he has to get that money first. So you guys did that. But so remember that was on your list.
And then we all got paid.
And then there's delivering the Lion Shield Coster's goods.
Yeah, I think that's where we were headed just before we quit last time.
Yes. Was the...
To deliver the Lion Shield Coster boxes.
Yeah, the
Right.
blue line.
Mm-hmm. Yep. Let's see. Does anyone different want to try and do the recap? There wasn't a ton of stuff. Of course, my version of it's like 8 years long, so.
You just did the recap.
I mean,
Well,
mostly.
that's the whole recap. Like, we kind of ended things at the Eden Cave and decided to carry the loot load by load back. In which time, after Rustin, a hill giant stormed through our camp, eating a goblin on its way out.
It was more
And an
like
ox.
a meander.
Yeah, he.
It was more like a meander. He didn't
For
really
him.
care about
More of a shuffle, maybe.
For him, a shuffle. For you, a storm.
Yeah.
All about
And-
perspective.
One small step for giant, one giant leap for mankind.
One giant launch for a gnome.
Fair.
I should have said giant step in there somewhere.
But
There's a better pun in there. I'll try it next time.
and then we ended up in town talking to the owner of the provision shop, got information about some bandits in the area
He
and
wants
where
the
exactly
damage,
the Lion Shield was, and that's why we decided to head to Lion Shield. We also got some other information that we need to decide what to do with. But this is the town.
Yep.
Currently, none of it is on fire.
Currently, none of us on fire. Well, you guys
Yeah,
don't even have a fire spell. Oh no, one of you does have a fire spell. Wow. Watch out. You've already caught one room on fire, so. But there was a lot of like quest information that was in there, but I definitely felt like I was trying so hard to give that to you guys last week, and kind of get that information out that I felt like I railroaded you quite a bit. So I want to apologize for that. I'm very sorry.
No.
I hope you guys can forgive me, and I feel like it's totally fair for me to roll everybody out inspiration for the week. So I have just clicked that onto all of your sheets if you want to reload your pages.
Okay.
And I have forgiven you. Okay.
Well, thank you. I went back and I listened to the stream, and because I really want to be good at this, and I think I was like really excited about all the stuff that I set up, and I wanted you guys to like get to all of it and experience all of it and do all this stuff. When in reality, like letting you do what you want to do is way more fun for you guys. So,
I think
so
I speak for all of us when I say that we really also want you to be good at this.
I mean, yeah. So I want to be good at this. So I'm glad we all agree that Jared should be good at this, in the future. I did think something that was important is for the homebrew items to add to your sheets. I went through and I did that for you. So I went and I like went to equipment, and then manage equipment, and then I searched for the actual name of the item, and that's how in the future we'll do it. And I'll remind you if I give you guys homebrew stuff again, that would be the way to go through it. I don't think we're gonna see that in the next 5 minutes or something, but in the future, you know, that would be how that goes.
Also, another side note here: the red brands.
Yes, the
we're supposed to-
bandits.
We're supposed to murder them.
Murder them good.
So we may actually just beat up random townsfolk. He was right to have those stats ready.
This is just average people.
Yep, if they're wearing a red cloak, they got a target on their back.
All right. Well, but with that, do you guys want? I did record a bunch of it. Do you want me to give you like highlights or try and run down through it or anything, or just are you guys good and we should just start? Because I feel like that's what we need to do this time. It's like have Jared back off, but I could just read this and then be done.
If so, for me, since I was kind of running reports at the same time, I certainly wouldn't mind it.
Okay. So then, if you pay attention, you might catch some things that I just blabbed out a lot. You guys got all your items, and I'm pretty sure everybody's got those all marked on with your copper and your silver. So I hope so. Sildar told you about the Lion Shield Coster. You guys came down here. He told you how it happened, how they got kidnapped. There were like 20-some goblins, and they heard that someone called the Black Spider had orchestrated their capture. And they took Gundren and his map to Cragmaw Castle. He mentioned the fact that he is interested in getting a hold of Wave Echo Cave for the Lord's Alliance to make sure that someone who's associated with them has control of it in order to help benefit the Sword Coast, the area. He talked a little bit about that. He's worried about getting there before someone else, because if they have access to the things that can be created there, because it was a magical forge, then it might be bad. But that's what he wants to do. You guys leveled up. Sildar took the goblin to the Townmaster Hall. It's until you guys were ready for him. Just he was going to take him there. He took him there to get him locked up because there's a jail cell there. Or he thought there was. And you guys delivered to Barthen. He paid you guys your 50 gold, so I hope you guys all marked that down. Despite the missing oxen and low amount of salted meats.
Did we each get 50 gold for that?
No,
thought it
50
was-
gold was the total that
Yes, it was
you were
10
paid.
gold
So it's 10 gold apiece.
and if
I
you
don't
need
think I
it
added
because
that.
you did not mark it, the Eden Cave rewards were 120 copper pieces apiece and 22 silver pieces apiece.
Here comes a new challenger.
Hey, buddy.
Hello.
And then the last part is we're just wrapping up this for a little bit for Joe. As Elmar suggested, that you guys get to keep the cart on the condition that you find and rescue Gundren, because he liked Jurek so much. He also mentioned business was strained thanks to the red brands, hence Chris's comment about anybody with a red cloak dies. And then he showed you where some of the locations are on the map. And you were headed to the Lion Shield Coster, but I'll step aside and allow you guys. What are you guys doing?
I remember one of the last things I said last week was that shopkeeper wasn't the first guy who's noticed the shields on the salvage, and he's not going to be the last. So the sooner we get rid of it, the more easily we'll move around town later.
Yeah, I vote that unless we want to use it as a bait to draw out the red brands, because they're going to come right after if they see the town.
Now, are the red brands attacking within the town though?
Yeah,
Yes.
they said they were making.
they
things
are within the
difficult for
town.
townsfolk.
Yeah, the red brands have been essentially like looting the provision shops stashes.
Parthen said they had been harassing the townspeople, and he was suspicious that maybe they were responsible for the caravans being attacked on the Tribord Trail, like your caravan was attacked on the Tribord Trail.
Although we know that twas the goblins. We did not say that to him, though.
Yeah, but we also don't know who's like ordering these goblins around.
True, but we know that the order was called by the Black Spider for what happened to us.
Bear, you're like
But
so
that
far
can
away.
only be a cover name.
I'm so far away.
Yeah.
That's okay. It's absolutely fine.
You can see more of my beautiful artwork behind me.
Yeah, look at you see his whole room.
I was just pulling up some stuff. I have like notes that I've been taking.
Okay.
Black Spider hired the goblins because the dwarf has a map to the magical cave. The Red Brands bandits, they all wear red cloaks, so I feel like they're going to be easy to spot. There was
So
also
the-
two
is
wizards
looking for
that
Yano?
neither of them have been heard
Yes,
from.
I forgot about that. No.
So we do want to probably find the wizards.
Oh, I didn't save that in my notes. Right.
All right. So first thing we should decide: are we going to go drop this stuff off, see about a reward, or do we want to?
I
Um,
say that we go
Arrange it
ahead and
around
drop it
town.
off.
I say while you guys do that, I'm actually going to go to the inn and arrange for at least bedding for myself. So that way, at least one of us isn't suspect in bait, like obvious, with the blue lion shields, just to be on the safe side.
Okay.
You could just get in the bag.
Yes.
Yeah, I've spent enough time in bags. I'm good right now.
We also have that box.
Yeah, the box that no one will ever notice you in.
Oh, that's a fair point. So yeah, we'll just go blue line.
Yeah, I say we go drop off this stuff and see if we can get any more info/rewards from those people.
On top of that, too, if they find out that they were willing to help, then maybe they'll give us a crest that's bigger, flashier, more appealing to the red brands.
That is a brilliant idea for such a dumb guy, Hubert.
Oh, well, thanks,
A very
you
gallant.
asshole.
All of it. All right, well, it sounds pretty universal. So I'll move you guys back over to the screen for the Lion Shield Coster. There's the outside. Remember, this one looks like the
It's a WoW town.
it's a WoW town because there's only so many
Fantasy,
fantasy locations that I could look up
fantasy
online.
village.
Yeah. I'll probably end up basically using fewer and fewer as this goes on. I'll try to start describing buildings and things like that. But as you guys approach, what are you doing? Are you just walking in? Are you like?
I'm gonna go up and pound on the door.
You
Pound
pound on
on
the
the
door and
Yeah,
it opens for just
Oh,
from
it
you
opens.
knocking on it.
I'll be standing
Didn't
behind
expect
Taliesin, kind of like confused as to why the vicious pounding, but too polite to say anything.
And I'll
Oh,
just-
and while he's hanging back, I asked him if I could possibly borrow that rainbow potion.
Borrow, like give it back?
If you want it, I just want to put some on my arrows and my daggers. I think it'll give us an advantage later on, and maybe someone will throw up more chicks because we need more pets.
How many of those
Phew.
We
end
got
up
5 of
staying?
them.
You have 5 of them. They're on the cart or something.
Yeah,
Yep.
I just kind of jumping around the cart. I've got one. One is like he lives in my cloak.
Just please remember to feed them.
All right. Well,
But anyways, you knock the door on and you walk inside. I'm assuming.
I'm gonna go ahead and give the
Well,
potion
yeah,
a jerk
I-
after
well,
you
I-
mentioned that. By the way,
Thank you.
I was gonna lean in and just say hello.
She says, "Well, hello, traveler. You look like you could use some help. How can the Lion Shield Coster assist?" And in there, you
yes.
see.
Yep, go ahead.
Sorry, I was say you just see it's a human woman. She's about 35 years old. She has messy auburn hair. See the picture of her there. Soft gray eyes and an acute nose. And she says that to you. Hello, travelers. Look like you use some help. How can the Lion Shield Coster assist?
Aw. All right.
I guess I'll step. Oh,
Go ahead. Yeah,
I'll step
you were
forward.
right
and
behind me, anyways, right?
I'm assuming I'm in my armor and I've got my manly jaw and my furrowed brow
Yeah, you're
going.
impressive looking, Pubert.
Right. And I'll open up with a. Well, perhaps we're here to help you. I say as I kind of motion outside to our findings.
This happens every time.
She's like, "You're here to help me? What do you mean?"
Oh, I'll motion to the items we have with the lion shield on it, the crest on it.
Okay, so you gesture towards her to come look outside. She's
Take a look outside.
cautious about the strangers who are inviting her to exit her establishment, but she steps out, and when she looks, she sees the blue lion shield that's on the crates. It's the same icon that's hanging above her doors. She says, "I'll be bugbeared. That's our latest shipment. Who'd you have to kill to get it?"
A bugbear and a cave full of goblins, but we did get it back for you.
We
Well,
were told that this is where we could find the owner.
that does look like my shipment, and I'm very thankful. I can't believe someone would actually bring it back to me after finding it. You say you killed a bugbear in order to get it? Was that?
Yes.
Did you guys find Tom, the guy who was delivering the goods?
No.
We found his
Real
horse.
sad and kind of. I'm afraid not. I don't think he made it.
Unless Tom was a goblin.
No. Tom was a dwarf. But I'm sad to hear that he did. I feared the worst when he didn't arrive. Actually, it's been quite a few of our shipments that have been hijacked. So I'm very thankful to see this. Thank you so much. Do you want a reward for this?
No reward is necessary. Just knowing that we've made the town of Vandalon is.
Wait.
She laughs.
What
She
can
laughs.
you offer us?
She laughs and she says, she's like, "This is actually a huge deal for me. The fact that I haven't gotten a shipment in so long. Like, I can give you guys 50 gold for this. And if there's anything else you need, I can't even describe in words how great this is."
I'd like to step up and I say, I actually do need something else from you. We're looking for something big and flashy because we want to help your town out a little bit more. We need to get the attention of the Red Brands, and we want to help clean it up a little bit.
The Red Brands. Well, I doubt you'll have any trouble getting their attention. But if you do want to find them, most of them hang out down at the local tavern, the Sleeping Giant. They're easy to
we're
find
also-
if you want to find them.
We're also relatively new in town. How much of an issue are they? Should we be gentle or should we be a little more forceful when we remove them from the town?
Well, I personally have no love for the Red Brands. I'm kind of concerned that since they came to town in the last few months is roughly how long it feels like that my shipments have stopped coming. I don't have any evidence that it was them, but it has been an issue. And you know something else that's been bugging me? Is that Barthen. He seems to keep getting his goods. I feel like maybe he's working with someone that's getting his goods here and is stopping mine from arriving. And I'm kind of concerned that it's the Red Brands, but I really don't know. So I think if you killed them, the town master would probably be pretty upset. But I
Have
don't
you
think
heard-
the townsfolk would mind much.
What if we just kill a few of them?
I don't think the townsfolk would mind much.
All right.
Have you heard of anyone called the Black Spider?
I haven't heard of anyone called the Black Spider. Why?
Insight check.
Godwald, insight check?
Yes, please.
All right. She's telling. You think she's telling the?
17.
You believe she's telling the truth? This is an easy check. She hasn't heard of anyone named the Black Spider, but she's interested in why you're asking about the Black Spider.
Personal matters.
Is he a dangerous man? Has he done something?
They were mentioned passing, and we were told that they might have some information we're looking for.
All right. Well, since you guys were decent enough people to bring me my supplies back, I'll keep an ear to the ground, and if I hear anything about the Black Spider, I'll let you know. If you guys need anything, here at the Lion Shield, we sell weapons and supplies. In fact, if you give me some time, I can go through my shipment here and probably get a few of these items out for sale.
Okay.
I'm not in agreement.
Sure.
All right. Well, then, she asked for some assistance unloading and bringing him back around into her shop.
I'll
And
definitely help out.
Sounds fair. These people might have more. These people might have less general goods than the last guy. So
as you guys are unloading and helping her carry the stuff in, you see she leads you through the back room and a locked door, and she has a few weapons that are out for sale. So it would be some things like a short sword, long swords, bows and arrows, stuff that the miners that come to town might need to protect themselves in the forest because it's kind of dangerous. But yeah, and yeah, she gives you guys the 50 gold for returning her stuff. So I think that divides out to 10 gold apiece. If you guys want to mark that down. She thanks you for the supply, and she says if you need any help, she'll be glad to help where she can.
We thank you. I'll.
Oh, yeah, we never introduced ourselves. And we're all friends now. She says, and since we're all friends, why don't we introduce ourselves? My name is Leanne Greywind.
I'm terrible.
Pleasure to
Terrible
meet
with
you.
introductions, but my name is Taliesin. I'm sorry. I just tend to get straight to the point.
Pleasure to meet you. I'm Jerk. I'm usually pretty quiet, but
Sure. That's hilarious. She chuckles.
Pubert has a look like I don't get it,
Okay.
but then when realizing it's his turn, and I am Pubert Powderbottom, knight of the. I'm a knight.
Powderbottom,
Glad to help.
doesn't your mother live here in town?
She does. I've been meaning to go check up on her.
Well, she's lived in the same place for the last 8 years that I've been here, so I imagine you probably know where she
Oh,
is. It's
that's-
nice
I
to
am-
meet. It's nice to meet the son of someone local.
Oh yes, and a pleasure to meet you as well. I should probably check up on old Mama Powderbottom here in a little bit. Isn't that right, Godward?
He's always like this.
It's with the sigh.
If you guys don't introduce yourselves, I'm sure she's not.
Nope,
Super
I'm just
concerned
going to
about
stay
it.
hiding on the cart right now.
All right.
Little shy.
She's a little shy.
All right. Well, she bids you adieu and says, if you need any weapons or weaponry before you head out on your venture, come back tomorrow, and she'll check through her new supplies and have things out for you. She'll invite you to the back room where she
We
keeps
appreciate
the good stuff locked away. She appreciates you guys.
Actually,
It's not any random party of adventurers that would bring back somebody's stuff.
Well, we are no regular
Man.
party.
We're trying to be helpful. My dog is trying to be barking really loud outside.
Do you guys want to do anything else here, or should I put you back over on the
can I
map?
just look around? Is there anything that would be particularly useful for us?
Are there like any enchanted weapons? Is mainly my question.
Enchanted weapons.
I want to ask her if she's familiar with anybody named Ephred as well.
She doesn't have any magical weapons. That's the kind of thing the lion coster has a lion shield coster is set up to get here. It's the reason they set up their shop. So because of all of the stuff people are finding in the area, they wanted to have a shop set up in town. So maybe in the future she would. And she definitely now has most things that are on the regular list. That's under the 25 gold. That's about what you're seeing in this town. It's like that kind of limit on it. So I could show you guys that if you want to see that list. And you ask her if she knows anyone named Alfred?
Yeah, Ephred. I asked her.
Oh,
it's my old,
Ephrild?
my
Right.
old Alfred. Yeah, it's my old master. Just looking to catch up. And I figure she may be in the area since she had an affinity for trying to find magical items.
And she looks and says, "No, I haven't heard of anyone here." She takes a close look at you. And she says, "It's like, well, this day was a total waste of makeup."
I apologize. As I say, sometimes people aren't super excited when a tiefling rolls into town. So I apologize for the deception, but I can assure you, it's not a waste of makeup for me. Most people aren't as observant as you.
Wait, I thought we said the makeup washed off.
She kind of gestures an acknowledgement that you recognize her statement. It was what it was. So she's maybe has a decent opinion of you now. She generally likes you guys.
Cool.
You've been very friendly to her. Like, hey, I found your stuff.
Here's your stuff. You can have it all back.
Right? Not even like, here's your stuff if you give us 50 gold. She's just like, what?
Yeah.
Okay, here's 50 gold. So that's cool.
Amen.
All right.
But yeah, if you're just doing like
I got one more
perception
thing.
check around the building, no, it's just a regular building. Like you've seen probably the most important thing that she had, which was the locked door that led you to her storeroom, her back room.
So do we want to now, if we're all done here, go to the mayor's, like the town?
Yeah, I kind of feel like we should make introductions and then kind of get people's perspective on how we should handle.
Well, I mean, we
the
have
bandits.
the two provision keepers suspecting one another as well. Like, there's obviously some internal drama that the mayor may give us more insight to.
Godwald, you were going to say something?
Yeah, before we go, if we're going to be doing a lot of things around town, I'd like to have something that's less obvious than a mace. Can I spend 4 GP here on 2 decent regular daggers?
I think I just brought this up for the drawing. We're good. This is just the regular weapons sheet. Stuff that's under 25 gold. This is stuff that she would
Yeah,
have now that you've delivered her supplies. It was going to
I
be
just like
smaller
2
stuff.
daggers, something that's easier to carry around than a mace.
Yeah. Go ahead and mark 2 gold off of your sheet and
I want 2
add.
of them.
Oh, then mark 4 gold off your sheet and add 2 daggers.
Okay.
Oh, I needed to add. We got 10 gold points apiece, right?
Yes.
Yeah, she gave you gold, and he just gave her 4 of it back. She's excited about this day.
Oh,
Equipment.
can I get a whip?
10.
Oh,
Yeah.
I'm gonna be right back.
a whip. It's a
She
reach
she does. I should probably be rolling for whether or not she's got it, but that's a 20, so yes, she has a whip.
It's a reach weapon.
Yep, finesse and reach.
Yeah, but I can also use it to try to.
You guys,
climb
so as you
things
guys are
and
asking
stuff.
her about stuff, if she has it, she actually noticed that in all these like the sacks and crates, she's like reaching into the sack of grain and pulling out weapons, like they were hidden inside the supplies, like a baguette. She breaks open and there's the daggers, kind of thing.
Baguette.
They were trying to smuggle the supplies through because they've been
But
having trouble.
and it didn't. And the goblins just took the stuff anyway.
'Cause they just didn't care what it was.
They're goblins.
Maybe they were hungry. I mean, we found this stuff in the eating cave, and it's shaped like food, and it smells
Mhm.
like food. Maybe we'll find the more weapony looking weapons somewhere else.
No. So just say
All right.
in these things. All right. All right. If we're good there, what do you guys want to do next? I mean, she bids you adieu if you leave. If you keep talking to her, she'll keep talking to you. She's glad to have people there buying her stuff. Chris, did you mark off 2 gold and add a whip?
That's your gold. I'm putting the whip on here.
Awesome.
And equip that, like that. Yep.
Can I? Can I ask her if have you personally had any run-ins with the Red Brands? Is there anybody in particular within their group that we should watch out for if we intend to confront them?
You know, I haven't seen any leader type with them. It's just been their grunts wandering around town. The most I've actually been present for is the aftermath of a townsperson being shook down for their money. I've heard about some other things. Typically, this is a really peaceful town, so it's pretty disturbing to most of the folks here who are used to dealing with danger coming from the mountains to the south or to the woods to the north. And I think people are generally pretty disturbed by these guys and their behavior. I don't think anyone goes to the tavern anymore that's from town because they're there so often.
Huh.
Are we at the mayor's now? Because I kind of
No, we're still at that shop.
They wanted to ask her more
I
questions.
out for a minute. I lost all audio and camera feeds, so I missed a bit.
So welcome back.
Thank you.
People bought some stuff.
Yeah.
They saw her. Her stuff was kind of hidden in the grain and supplies.
Right.
So she's, when you're asking for a dagger, she's like breaking a baguette open, and there's a dagger. pulling a whip out of a sack of grain.
Okay, so
That's cool.
it seems like she's just a shopkeep at this point.
She
I
works
think
for
we
the
should-
Lion Shield Coster.
I think we should
Yeah.
go see the mayor.
I mean, she works for them. They're, like she said, they established a place here.
Right.
Yes. Okay. Do we already know where the mayor's home or
Yeah.
place?
Yeah.
Okay.
Let's put you guys back over to the
Yeah, can we
your
get
little area map. Where are you?
where the sleeping giants at?
So you guys are here at the Lion Show Coster. You've been here at Barthen's Provisions, and the Town Master's Hall is basically across the street.
Okay.
Well,
Where's
it's right
Sleeping
across the street.
Sleeping Giants down the road. This is a small enough town that you guys are going to be able to get from point A to B with minimal time, like a couple minutes of walking.
Wait. So the stuff that we were hired to deliver went to Barthen.
Mm-hmm.
So is hiring adventurers the way his stuff's been getting through?
Probably.
That would make sense.
So that's probably not foul play because we're living proof that it worked.
It
Yeah.
worked once.
Well, she's saying that she's
Oh no,
thinking
yeah,
that,
she's saying that he's in league with
in
the
league with,
Red Raiders.
yeah.
Or maybe
But-
we're just
Well,
we're
she's
just not the first
suspicious.
group.
She's
Yeah,
suspicious.
I say
Maybe we
since
should have
we're on
should
a
we have
roll.
mentioned that?
She basically dropped a bunch of things that she's suspicious of, and she also said she doesn't have any proof of any of it.
Since we're on a roll, I say we go try to kiss up to the town's master, the mayor,
Yeah.
because we're doing real well at making friends. So I say we do that before we go after the red brands or try to rough them up or talk to them or whatever at the sleeping giant.
So is that the same place we might find Sildar?
That's where he went with the goblin. Yeah.
Yeah, I support this plan.
Right?
To the town master's hall.
Yes.
Yes.
Alright.
Yeah, that's what I. Okay. Yeah.
Well, you guys go across the street.
So is there a picture for this one?
I think so. Yeah, look at that. Look at that.
Checks the
Oh,
layers.
man. So many maps. I gotta move it all the way over there. Does that work? Town
see a
Master's
map.
Hall. See a bald guy?
Oh yeah.
Oh, he
Yep.
ugly.
No, he does his best.
This is Harbin. Okay,
Nice.
so you come to the Town Master's Hall. It has sturdy stone walls, a pitched wooden roof. There's a bell tower in the back. Posted on a board next to the front door is a notice written in common. It says, "Reward: Orcs near Wyvern Tor. Those of a mind to face the orc menace should inquire within." And then it bears a signature that you can't really read.
Okay, you said reward for orcs located where?
Near Wyvern Tor, like a wyvern, Wyvern, Tor, Tor. Give me like 5 seconds to reread over this to make sure I do this guy right. Okay. All right, so you're outside the building. I'm assuming you just go inside, knock, whatever.
Pound on the door. Just kidding.
Pounds on the door. Opens yet another door. Taliesin, first one to walk through, comes inside, and nobody's at in the main room, but you hear coming up the stairs a few people talking, and it's Sildar, whom you know, and another gentleman, the guy pictured here. You'll soon find out is named Harbin Wester. And he just says, I don't like having this goblin in my jail cell. I want him out of here as soon as possible. And then Sildar says they'll be leaving as soon as these adventurers are ready to take him where they want to go. And he greets you, says hello, and then Harbin turns to you and he says, "And who are you guys again? Who? What are their names? Who are you?"
I'll do another kind of one of those, like, look to the
You
left,
guys
look to
can-
the right. And, well,
Just-
I am Hubert Piderbottom, here to assist in any way we can.
The same as the. Oh my gosh, what's your mom's name? I forgot.
Mama Piderbottom?
Well, same as Berga Piperbottom?
The one and the
The
same?
family?
I'll step forward
Prodigal
and say,
son returns.
how could you
I'm also
forget?
here.
Oh, no, I returned. I don't know. I don't have a brother named Prodigal.
I like that.
It kind of
It means you're the younger brother.
just eyes you like, okay, yeah, got it. And Taliesin, you introduced yourself, is that what you said?
I was saying that I was going to step forward and say, how could you forget your friend and fellow knight? And and I am Taliesin. I hope you had not forgotten that.
Well, this is Harbin that was talking.
Oh, I
The
thought
big-
you were saying that the other dude was talking.
So
Would you like to re-roll that?
So he wonders why you're talking to Sildar when he's asking you questions, and he turns and he says, he kind of looks back and forth, and he goes, "I'm not a knight, I am a banker, but I'm also town master of Phandalin. And if you guys have brought this goblin into town, I just don't understand why. We want goblins out of our town."
I hear you want something else out of town too. We might be able to help with that.
Oh, you mean the orcs at Wyvern Tor?
I mean the orcs.
Nod,
and
yes.
The orcs.
Excitedly.
Orcs would be a good start. What do you feel about the red brands? I hear they've been causing trouble. Do you need some help with that problem as well?
He's just kind of looks and shakes his head. You know, everybody in town's all worried about them. They're just some mercenaries. They, they pay for their rooms, they pay for their goods at the bar. I'm really concerned with these orcs. They're stopping people from coming to our town, and that's trouble for us. We need people to be coming to Phandalin.
It's true.
You tell from his mannerisms that he thinks very highly of himself and the town.
And the town.
So you're not concerned at all with the Red Brands?
He his eyes just sort of dart back and forth, and he's like, "No, I look, they're not the worst trouble that we have." And
can I roll like
insight check?
I guess, insight.
Nice.
I feel like he's hiding something about it.
16.
Did I seriously? Okay.
Nope.
7.
Well, yours is plus
with your
anyways.
whiz, man. With your whiz.
Plus 7 plus your 5.
Yeah.
Oh.
Still over the 10.
Oh, nice.
Collectively, you all understand that he's actually probably afraid of the Red Brands, but he's trying to brush it off like they're not a big deal.
Well, is he afraid of them, or is he afraid that we're going to figure out he's one of them?
I think he's afraid of them and that they're gonna
that could have several
retaliate if anything happens.
We could be a test. And I don't see Chris. Do we still have Chris?
Looks like he at least turned his camera off.
Nope, he had to refresh.
Yeah.
Message. Okay. Well, we could catch him up.
Oh, you want out, Big Rat?
So, can I ask him?
I'm gonna nudge Talos and change the subject.
Well, I was gonna say,
do what you're gonna do. It's just a guy you're talking to.
Yeah, you can take my advice.
I'm just.
You all collectively understood that he seems afraid of them and is blowing them off. Like your insight checks saved us from this poor role playing you're doing.
So I'm just gonna kind of chuckle and say, "I understand, my friend. No need to worry." And then, but with the understanding, obviously, that they are a problem, and he's just scared of saying anything about it.
He kind of gathers that from your statement that you're thinking about doing something about the Red Brands, and he mentions, listen, if you guys do something about them, don't do something about them, because if you don't, these are the kind of guys, if you don't take care of all of them, it's going to be so much worse for us. I generally don't want to put the townspeople's lives in danger because we're starting a war with a group that's been getting bigger and bigger. And there have been more and more of these red cloaks on the streets. So he's scared.
So what we need to
He fears retribution.
Yes. Do you have any idea of how many there are? I mean, if we keep letting them get bigger...
Oh, he's a banker. He'd be good at numbers.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, he does. You
can see the problem that I'm leading to, correct?
He'd pretty much tell you, listen, it's like, from the last count and off the top of my head, the number I've seen around town, there's at least 20 of them in town. And their numbers have been getting larger and larger.
All right.
Are these people from town that are joining their ranks, or are these people coming in from out of town?
They're definitely people from out of town. The people in town really, it's only been a few months, but, first it was a handful of them, and then more and more have been coming from the west. I feel like they're getting more of their numbers from towns like Tribor to the east and Neverwinter to the west, but I don't really know much about them, and crossing dangerous men is not the game of a banker.
Understood.
So
would you say more of the job of a knight?
Man, I'm having some trouble here. What did I miss?
We're questioning the banker dude, the town's...
He's the town master.
Town master about the Red Brands.
I'll just tell you, a town master is like an elected official. So once a year, this town elects people. So he's the
And like
elected
any other
official
elected
this
official,
year.
he doesn't really have any power over these people.
He can probably muster a few of the townspeople together, like a handful, but the Red Brands would outnumber them at this point because he told you there's like 20
Okay.
that he's seen.
Understandable.
He's a baker. He's good with numbers, though.
Have you noticed anybody who's in any sort of like seems like they're in charge of them? Like, are they organized at all, or do they just kind of do what they see fit?
I have to disappear again. I'm sorry.
It's okay. He reply that, like, I'm not sure what they're doing or if they're doing something nearby, because they don't do a lot in town except for drink and sleep here and occasionally harass women. I've had complaints about them, but there's too many for me to do anything about them.
Okay. Well, I kind of feel like
And
if we continue on our main quest, the two might kind of intersect.
Sildar is there too, and
Well,
he would
we have
interject
leads.
something at some point here. But with Sildar there, he would basically suggest, he's like, I believe that if anyone could do something about it, it would be this party of adventurers. But so that you all know, I am here to bring law to Phandalin. I'm sending for more members of the Lord's Alliance. I'm going to send them word about the situation in town. But I think it would be a great benefit to the town of Phandalin if you would help these people. That's still done.
I'm willing to help, but what of your dwarf friend?
I would
We
very
still-
much
We
like
still need to
to
find
rescue
him.
Gundren as well.
So I asked him what
He
thinks
wants a
is
lot
more
of
pressing.
things. Okay, what would Sildar think is more pressing?
Personally, I would think
Gundren's
rescuing
rescue.
Gundren from a bunch of
He doesn't
goblins
know.
probably
He is. I'm not sure that Gundren would definitely be alive. If Gundren was smart and he had encoded his map in some way, they might need him to use it. And the way he held on to it, though, I'm just not sure. So it might be best to gear up and get ready for them. And then you see Harbin being like, I already told you, we have bigger things to worry about than the Red Brands. And I know we've got one missing dwarf friend, but these orcs at Wyvern Tor are
All right.
dangerous. So
Okay.
everybody
How
has
far out
things
of
they
town
want.
is that?
Wyvern Tor is... Oh my gosh. I know this. Sorry, it's about 20 miles away. It's about 20 miles away, and you don't really know exactly how far Cragmaw Castle is.
That sounds pretty far.
Well,
That's about like a 5-hour walking.
should we ask him if he knows where Cragmaw Castle is?
Yes, I do that.
Harbin says he's not heard of Cragmaw Castle. Doesn't know of that here. Maybe some of the townsfolk might. There are adventurers and prospectors who travel into the mountains and into the forests nearby. But he's not heard of Cragmaw Castle.
Right.
Sildar thinks your goblin's going to lead you there, but since you don't know how far it is, that you should
Right.
just get food and supplies. And
Should we also? Well, we rested not that long
Ooh.
ago. I don't know if we need to.
We should build a
'cause
cart.
it was like a day's travel, and then you stopped and rested once along the way. You only saw some gnomes riding giant sheep, and then you came into town. So you're probably still like noon. Your half your daylight's over.
So
It's
we do only have the cart while we're around town, so we should probably look into getting transportation that we could all use for when we leave.
Well, you guys have the cart.
Yeah, temporarily. I thought they were gonna. That's
Yeah, but
basically
we're
for
also
when we're
like
around town.
No, Elmar Barathian or whatever. Elmar let you. He said
So we
just
can
like
keep it.
you could keep the cart on the condition that you use it to go find Gundren.
Gundren.
Okay, cool.
So suppose if you spent like a week hanging around in town, just rolling the cart back and forth places, he'd be like,
He's
"Hey."
probably get kind of pissed. I'm like, what?
Yes.
Don't you love me anymore?
But anyways,
So, has Sildar gotten anything? I'd like to direct this over to Sildar now.
okay.
See if he's gotten anything out of the goblin so far.
No, I brought him here and I've spoken with Harmon about keeping him here. He's begrudgingly accepted. And he eyeballs him and then turns back to you. And he's like, I'm working on establishing myself so that I can send word and get you gold payment for escorting me here. I also am interested in finding out what happened to, I think it's Ildar or what is his name? Oh, can't hear you anymore. Rand. Huh. So that's still going, but all your guys' cameras are dead to me. I missed you.
There you are.
Just gotta
Ah.
sue my internet company until they.
Okay.
So they're good to me. So what was the last thing you guys heard? I'm sorry.
So
that
they
he-
eyeballed him.
Yeah, Soldar had not gotten anything more from our good friend Goblin.
Yeah, Yamik, right?
Yeah.
I don't know why I remember that name amongst all others. He said he begrudgingly has accepted to keep the goblin here. Usually the two jail cells that are in the basement of the town master's hall are reserved for drunks wandering the street, for them to sleep off their soberness. So he feels pretty uncomfortable about having a goblin sitting in the town. You could hear the goblin yelling from the basement.
Say if it makes him feel any better, I can get the goblin drunk.
He chuckles and says, "What a strange thing to say."
Well,
but
I
he
would say-
he
Go
was
ahead.
also the other thing I kind of got cut off with that was that he's also here. He's not only establishing himself and making contact back to Waterdeep, but he also is looking for Yarno Albeck, the wizard who was supposed to be here.
Yes.
He did find that after asking here and a few people that Yarno disappeared after he arrived, and it was about 2 months ago. So he asks you that as well. If you keep talking to him, he'd ask you. He tells. He'll tell you about that.
I call a little group meeting real quick before we continue talking. I have a bit of a plan of attack here, so I say we take the goblin, we go for Gundren, and when we get back, the reinforcements that Sildar is calling should be in town. We can go with them to take out the orcs and then clean up the town. I think that's probably the best way to do all of this.
Agreed. I do think that rescuing Gundren is probably more pressing.
Yeah, so we get that knocked out of the park, and then by the time we get back to town, we'll have reinforcements to clean it and the orcs up.
I feel this plan has the blessing of the goddess. I'm for it.
I don't know what he's talking about.
Pubert's gonna look at Godwald like Godwald's an idiot.
This guy.
Is your faith in the god? Is that faltering, my brother?
You said goddess.
Well, it is a goddess. Or is it a god? Or is it both of them?
I'm just gonna slap your back a few times and take you aside.
Okay, so
What's
So
on your mind?
Sildar lets you know he's going to try and find out more in town before he does anything else. He's working on getting himself established. So
Sure.
that's pretty much where you're at this.
We should also get supplies and ask around. Where did you say that where would we find said adventurers that you had mentioned previously?
Oh,
I would-
Prospectors, I feel, may
Prospector?
actually be the ones that we would want to talk to.
Yeah. So Harbin would tell you, he's like, well, you might find some of them down at the Miners Exchange, and if none of them are there, I would bet that the Halia, who runs the Miners Exchange, might have some information for you as well. And then Sildar looks at you and says, might be a good place to get a map of the area.
perfect.
Thank you for your time.
I asked Sildar, I'm like, hey, do you want?
He thinks
us
about
to-
that map scratched into the cart, and he just rubs his chin and laughs.
Before we
to
head
himself.
off to find Gundren, do you want us to come get you? Do you want to come with us?
I have some things I have the things to take care of in town. I might need to establish myself for the day or so. I understand Gundren is in trouble, but I don't really know that he's okay. So I'm going to see what I can find out
There we go.
about what happened to Yarno before I leave the town where he's supposed to be. But he does let you know that tonight he'll be staying at the Stonehill Inn. If you want to catch up with him later
Okay.
or in the morning, and yeah,
All right. So everybody want to head to the miner's place?
Yes, but I want to say thank you, sir, for all of the information. I appreciate it, and I'm sure we'll be seeing you again.
just don't cause trouble in my town.
I won't right now.
No, never.
All right.
So before we leave, I'm also going to ask for the name of the innkeeper, so that way we know who to talk to when we get there.
Okay. He would tell you, and he would look at Godwald and Pubert, knowing that they're now the same kids that he may have known from long ago. I don't know if he would have been there or not, but it tells you it's still Toblin Stonehill who's running the Stonehill Inn. You can find him and his wife there, and they might have a better chance of recognizing you than I do. You seem so different. That armor, and those robes.
Cool.
Yeah, his name's Toblin Stonehill. Toblin Stonehill runs the Stonehill Inn.
Thank you.
Just
People.
don't stir up trouble in town.
You have my word.
Sildar says, they'll be fine, and Phandalin will be fine as long as they're here. Isn't a funny old man? I like him.
Let's give him a thumbs up as we walk out.
It's like,
I feel like I missed something. I had to refresh.
Oh. Sildar
also-
just said that the He feels like the town will be safe as long as you're here.
I also
He's an old guy. He doesn't remember everything.
I also on our way out, I nudge Sildar and just remind him. But like we're like leaving here in a minute, like shortly, right?
Well, then it might be best if I stay here to help keep peace in the town while you all travel to this castle off in the woods somewhere. I
is
I
true.
am sending word to Neverwinter or to Waterdeep, and hopefully they'll be sending men to back me up as well.
All right. Well, you behave while we're gone. I don't want to come back to a crumbling town.
A Knights of the Lord's Alliance always behaves.
I'm gonna.
He
I'm
shakes
gonna
his
put a,
head.
I like this guy.
A tiefling.
Put a hand on Jerk's shoulder, kind of a stronger grip. It's like he has this.
All right.
Trust in the Lord's Alliance.
I mean, Godwall's seen his character sheet. He'll be okay.
All right, so we went ahead to the
We
miners
believe.
now.
Yes.
Going to the Phandalin Miners Exchange. Right?
Yep.
Yes.
Drop. Players.
Ooh.
Welcome to the Phandalin Miners Exchange. And do me a favor and let me read this too. Do.
I feel like
I'm
Jerk will
assuming
be
you
on here.
I'm assuming you guys like head in and walk in.
Yeah, sure.
You want to knock the door open again, Chelsea?
Yeah, punch it right open.
I mean,
Oh,
you could
it's
generally
okay.
just like check doors and see if they're locked. You know,
Is
like
this so?
could-
Is this building sized for humans or for dwarves?
see,
That's a good
It's-
question.
it's for me to-
relatively.
it's for human sized, medium people. As you would enter, you would see Halia Thornton, I believe. Do I even have anything special?
Huh?
Halia Thornton. She is. Oh man, I don't remember. I think she's human. She might be. Yep, she's a human. She looks roughly as that described there. She's actually quite beautiful.
Oh, dang.
And yeah, she welcomes you. She goes, travelers. It's like, have you found a claim that you'd like to put on the records office? Or are you here to weigh out some of your goods?
I tell her.
Yeah.
I didn't know it until just now, but I'm here for you.
She,
Oh my goodness.
she chuckles. Halia Thornton. Oh, well, I hope it's that you've brought me business.
If by business you mean heading down to the tavern later and having a drink with
Well,
me.
I'm going to ask you to roll charisma.
Perfect.
Would it be a persuasion
Just-
check?
I mean,
Dan?
yeah, but persuasion under charisma. You're trying to get her to sort of-
Wait, so persuasion or charisma?
what was the name of the
it's
guy that we
persuasion.
Gave this
I mean, it's charisma is your main stat. Persuasion's what you're trying to do.
Alright.
Unless you're trying to deceive her, and that
What
would be a
was the name of the
deception
guy?
roll. But I think you're trying to
I got a
actually
five,
get it.
so none of those will work.
CJ, you've got the notes, right? What was the name of the first guy we delivered to?
The first guy we delivered to was, let me find
Arthur.
out my list.
Because that was the mining supplies.
Well, he has good.
It started with a B. I know that much. I gotta find it.
Actually, can I use inspiration to roll that again?
Barthen. Barthen was
Yes,
the first person we
yes, you
delivered to.
can. You are now rolling it with advantage.
God damn it!
That's
Would you
hilarious.
like to roll a real die?
No, we're not going there. It's been too many fails. We're gonna move on with our lives.
All right.
You do not seduce her. End
You
of
do
story.
not.
I
You do.
get
She
shot
laughs.
down.
She laughs, and she goes, "Maybe if you bring me back some of the precious jewels and gemstones that are filling the foothills of the Sword Mountains, we'll talk about whether or not you can buy me a drink.
Oh. All right, so I tell her, Will, we are.
But what brings you all here outside of his ridiculous gestures towards any woman that he sees?
We're here for a map, if you possibly happen of the surrounding area. We're trying to clean up the town a little bit. We have a lot of different things we're up to. Men of many talents, and but yeah, we're looking first and foremost. We're looking for what's the castle? It's like the only thing I don't have written down.
Craigmont Castle.
We're looking for Cragmaw Castle to save our employer and dwarf friend.
Halia turns to you and says, hold on a sec.
The sooner we can get there and get him.
So she
free,
says,
the
as far
sooner
as the
we
map
will
goes.
be able to find.
So, your first sentence, you've said like two things. Let me. Well, just finish. Sorry.
I said the sooner we'll be able to find the magic mines and bring you your rocks.
Okay. With all of the things that you've just said to me, including trying to get me drunk, I can help you with the map. I have the finest maps that you'll find in Phandalin. In fact, I'm probably the only one who has maps for sale. And if you'd like, for 30 gold, I can sell you one.
I don't have 30.
Unfortunately, you will not find Cragmaw Castle on any map. And I also don't know the location. But I have some ideas who might. And then what was the next thing you said? Was you find the mine? So then she peeks up. I know of some people who might. But what magical mine is this that you're talking about?
Don't you know the history of your own town?
You're saying you found the Wave Echo Cavern?
We may have. We know someone who may have. That's what sent us here. But he's missing. That's why we need to find Cragmaw Castle.
Well, there's a lot of prospectors who would love to find that, adventurers as well, and people have been searching for that mine for hundreds of years. I believe it's probably been destroyed. If you find evidence that you really found that, and you bring me a map to it, and we can verify its location, I think we could work out maybe getting you a part of the claim for that mine.
Will you buy me drinks?
In exchange for Wave Echo Cave? Sure.
I'm gonna look real confused
that could be,
at Jerk and be like,
that'll be
"Jerk,
your
if
share.
you really need drinks, I have some spare gold. I'll get you some." Totally oblivious to what you're trying here.
All right. So I guess I pull everybody aside and I ask them if they want to pull money for a map. It'll be 30 gold. I am not very charismatic this time, so someone else wants to try to lower the price. I wouldn't. I'll let them take the lead on the sale.
She's leaning
I'm
on the
not
counter.
throwing
smiling
good
at
rolls
you.
after you're bad. If you can get everyone else to agree, I'll put in 6 gold.
I would say I'll go speak to her. I do not have a problem with that. I would just ask for everyone to pitch in gold.
If we
You have
split
no
evenly,
qualms for me.
I'm down.
Yeah, evenly would be 6 gold apiece.
Cool.
And I'll even see if I can't try to talk her down a bit.
All right.
Hold on just a second.
Okay.
Also, you should ask her who she thinks might know where Cragmaw Castle is. Talk to them, and we'll have it marked on the map. I got shot down pretty damn hard. So
None of
Okay,
that.
there we
Hold
go.
on.
I'm back at the cart, just licking my wounds.
Can you guys hear me now?
Yeah.
That's better.
Yep, much better.
I couldn't. I was like talking and
Oh,
it's like, wait a minute, nothing's happening. I'm asking the map that we're buying for her is just a map of the general area, correct? Like a good map of it, though, right? It doesn't
Yeah,
actually have
it's-
Cragmore Castle. She said
It
that.
does
she
have
didn't
Kragmar
know that.
Castle, but it's the finest map you'll find
Okay,
in Phantom.
so if we can find somebody that
Probably
does know
also
where
the
to-
only map you'll find in Phantom that anyone's willing to part with willingly.
Oh, Godwall froze. Oh, he's back.
Oh, weird. He didn't freeze for me. So okay, so Sparkle
a
Gem,
weird
are
night.
you going to go talk to her?
Yes.
Okay.
Oh, did I sound underwater?
Yes.
Yes.
Let's see, persuasion.
Do I still sound underwater?
No.
No, much
it's-
better.
It's better.
Okay.
Yeah, I don't have any bonus to persuasion, so
I mean, what do you guys you guys in general were coming to
Yeah, sorry.
find a
just,
map and talk about town? She's the Miners Exchange. She explains that the Miners Exchange is, as she's sitting there kind of grouped up talking, she lets you know that the Miners Exchange is where the prospectors like bring their gold and the different gemstones that they found, and she pays out their claims. So it's the system of like prospecting in mines that existed at like Gold Rush era kind of thing, right? So this is how people get their money from the stuff that they get. She then takes this and gets this out to other towns and to different tradesmen and things.
All right.
She's definitely got some like gemstones and things in the shop, if that's what you're looking for some reason, but usually it goes the other way around for her.
You're underwater again.
yep.
I don't know what to do, guys. I'm sorry. I could like cut stream off and that.
I was about to actually refresh to see if it was me or you, because I didn't know if everybody was hearing it.
It's just
could do
you're
that.
loud.
No,
but
yeah.
You're just as loud, but you sound muffled, so it's hard to understand like every third word or so.
I'm sorry.
Oh no, it's fine. You sound better now.
fine now.
Yeah.
Actually,
well,
I was gonna ask, are we at a point where we could maybe stop for a short break, like 5 minutes or so?
is it
Yeah. Can we give it 15 more minutes?
kid goes to bed at 9? That's the thing.
If you need to go now, we can do it now.
Oh, I'm not desperate to. I just have to check something here for like 2 minutes.
Oh, well, we might as well just take a break now.
Yeah.
So I don't need 15. I just need like 2. I just need to disappear. For a
Oh,
moment.
they're gonna do their 10-minute break around 9 because he puts Ileana to
Right.
sleep and then
Well, I mean, if
she
he has
gets
to
a
go for a
cigarette.
minute or two,
But
we
go,
could just-
go. Yeah,
Yeah,
it's okay.
you can play without me. I'll be right back.
Yeah, if that works, everybody's happy with that.
Okay. All right. So she gave us the rundown of her business model, basically.
She gave you what she's here, what she's doing, what the Miners Exchange is for.
Okay. So
Just in general.
everybody's gonna throw in 6 gold, and we just need to know who to go see next, who might know where Cragmaw Castle is. I don't
Okay.
think we have
Yes.
much other
I
business
mean, we
with
could
her besides the
easily
map.
gather information here at
I don't think you guys have asked her that yet.
no.
What?
And then I'll show you the map that you have once.
We
when we're
haven't
done.
asked her what.
Did
yet.
I actually preview the map before I decide to purchase it?
No, because you guys could just screenshot it really fast. And if you're gonna buy it anyways, if you want this map, this is the only one you're gonna get.
Well,
I mean, we should.
Damn, you are untrusting.
You wanna
Or if it's another
you wanna-
hand
if
BS.
you wanna cross wits with Halia Thornton, you're more than welcome to try to haggle her into showing the map before.
You're the one with. I don't know if you have high charisma, but
I think that's
have
Godwald.
moderate
Godwald's got all the
charisma.
charisma.
What now?
Not Godwald.
what jerk?
Yeah, no. Pubert. Pubert's got all the
Oh.
charisma.
Yeah, I have like +0 to charisma, so
He's got like plus
Not
3.
too bad.
Jerk's a +2. Simmon's +2.
So yeah, I'm just gonna look at it and go, the last map I bought off somebody was something a child would have drawn. And I wasn't too pleased. So would you mind me just taking a quick glance to see the quality of the map before I decide to purchase?
Yeah, Jared, you don't have to show us the map in game. We just want to make sure
She-
it's not a
So
cheat.
what she'll do is she pulls out basically off of her belt a map case. She goes, "This is my personal map," and it's a fine map case. She pops it open, slides it open. You could tell that the paper is fine paper. She goes, "It's the best map you will find in Phandalin." She closes it, caps the lid, and says, "I actually don't even have need for it because I have the entire map memorized. But it costs you 30 gold." And she kind of waves it around a little bit. She's teasing you with it.
I'm going to continue asking her out every time I see her.
Oh my goodness.
But if you guys do like an inside trick or something, it's easy enough to. You could tell from the case, the map, the fact that it is her own map. But she's not lying, that it's a good map.
Okay. 30 seems a little deep. Why don't we go 25?
Persuasion roll. Go for it.
13 total.
Mm.
Yeah, I didn't do so well.
She starts telling you about the quality of the map, like where she's like, the finest artisans in Waterdeep created this map. It's one of the most beautiful pieces of artwork that you'll see come from a map maker's pen. She's like, it's in color. She's like, it's colored. Like all the areas marked. Major and minor locations are marked on it. In fact, I don't even know if I could part with it for less than 35.
She's trying to haggle you up.
She just raised it on you for haggling with her.
Can we go back to 30 with the jewel case? Or with the map case?
35 with the case for sure. 30, I'll give it to you without the case. That seems fair since I already offered it to you for 30.
All right, I'm going to throw in the extra 5 out of my personal and get all of it, just for good business manners.
That's all your gold, though. We all agreed to throw in 6, didn't we?
Yeah,
5?
we all threw in 6, but I threw in the extra 5 just to get the map case as well.
Okay.
Mainly just because I gave her a hard time and tried to get her knocked down her prices, and she made me feel guilty about it.
So you reach into your pocket to give out the extra 5 gold?
Yes.
As she sees you do that, she says, "I'll tell you what. If you tell me how you heard about Wave Echo Cave, I'll throw in the case."
I can't hear you because you were really bad underwater.
If you tell me how you know about Wave Echo Cave,
she said, "If you
I'll
tell
give
me
you the
how
case."
how you know about Wave Echo Cavern, I'll give you the case I'll throw it in for 30." She saw you reach into your pocket to give out the extra after you guys all divided up.
Let's see, how can I word this? An associate who hired us to do a deed has a friend that an incident occurred there with.
She gestures and says, "Give me a name or there's no map." She just wants to know who it is.
Can I hear them at all?
You guys can hear him? Yeah.
All right.
You're standing in the room.
Our friend Gundren says that he has a map.
Gundren, why didn't you say so? And she gestures to put the money on the table, and she puts the map forward to hand to you. Why didn't you say so? She basically then recites to you. She's like, "I'd heard from Gundren that he thought he'd found the mine. He and his brothers were going out to find it, but I haven't seen them in a while. I've been waiting for them to come back with a map and their claim. If you know him, are you trying to help him?" And
Yeah,
she
that's
does the
why we need to
exchange.
find
She does the
Wave
exchange
Echo
for the gold and the map while she's talking to you. She's satisfied that she got the name now.
Unfortunately, he has been captured by some sort of goblin king. Why we are looking for him, and that's why we're trying to find Cragmaw Castle.
he's too. Why?
Okay.
Why would I not tell her that?
Yeah, so she's like, "Oh." You see her think for a second, and she goes, "It would be valuable to me for Gundren and the cave to be found." Lipser looks looks at you. She goes, I don't know where Cragmaw Castle is, but, and she actually takes the map out and rolls it out. I can't go all the way back. I'm going to get you one more, and then one more, and then I have so many maps up here, and then one more. There's your map. So here's your map. She goes, now I don't know where Cragmaw Castle is. I don't know where Cragmaw Castle is. This is your map. You guys can have it and look at it now whenever you want. She's rolled it out for you, and she's pointing around. She goes, if anything, the goblins that are around, they're probably up here in the north, to the north of us. And you see where you guys are in Phandalin. She says, the goblins have been making attacks from the forest along the Triboar Trail. I don't think that they're coming down from the Sword Mountains. I don't know how you would best get a hold of a goblin to tell you where it's at. But I do know that these thugs in town, the Red Brands, I do know that they have a goblin horde working for them. Or at least...
They did.
At least...
There are more goblins.
At least some... Yeah, I do know that they have some goblins working for them. Have you guys heard of the Red Brands?
We have.
She kind of looks around and walks around you guys and closes the door. Because now she feels like having a serious conversation with you. She goes, okay. She goes...
You guys are all upset.
Right? She's like, all right, well... She's like, I want Gundren and the mine found. I also want those Red Brands out of the town.
Done.
I think if you can kill the Red Brand's leader for me, cut
Name?
the head off. I don't know his name, but they refer to him as Glassstaff. I do know where the Red Brands are stationed, and I imagine that he is working from there as well.
And where would that be at?
Up on the Tresden Manor. I've watched she tells you that she's watched the Red Brands, and she's seen them going to and forth the manor to the sleeping giant, which is the tavern.
Can I see the town map, please?
Yeah, we go back to that. So that's your guys' map. It's nice, isn't it?
Could I screenshot it real quick?
Yeah, if you want to. I'll just
Too big for
I'll
a
put it
screenshot?
I'll put it
Wait,
in the 2-bit D&D. How's that sound?
Yeah, that would work best.
I'm also
Sure.
trying to figure out. So, where were you saying? Because it wasn't like you weren't marking it, so I couldn't see.
No,
where
she
you were
wasn't.
saying.
But she was saying like she's positive that the goblins are in the forest here
Right.
because she understands that they've been making these attacks on the caravans to the Triboar Trail. They are not to the south where the mountains are.
Well, just from looking
And
at the
they're-
map, I would assume Cragmaw Castle is somewhere near the Crags opening.
Crags.
Where the crags at the top.
Oh, the crags,
Yeah.
the hills. She believes they're in the woods. Let me also give you that version of that map, and I'll put it, like I said, in yours real quick, so that you guys can just have that and reference that each. You have one though.
Now.
It gets destroyed. Really, I should only hand you one version, but yeah, you got it. Where is it? Ah, crap. Sword Coast, maybe? Dag nabbit. There it is. That's it. Two-bit D&D. Right-click, paste. There, that is in the Dropbox now. And you wanted to go back to... Sorry, that took me so long. And you had to go back to the town map.
Bucks.
I gotta get the Dropbox.
Okay, so Tresnadar Manor is where she sees them. She's seen them coming to and from there to get to the sleeping giant, the tap room. I guess it's called a tap room and not a tavern.
So
She's
from the
coming
map, it
back
looks
from in
like,
there.
It looks like Trasdar Manor is like ruins.
Yeah, it's definitely from what, let's see, Pubert and Godwald would know this, that it was an old manor, almost more castle than house. You know, castle than like a think of a mansion, right? So it's a huge building, but it is very old. It's one of the buildings that was originally in Phandalin, like how there's all the rubble around Phandalin and those different buildings and things that you see like some leftover parts from. Some of these buildings were built on that rubble. Well, Tresnadar Manor has just been up at the top of this hill for a very long time. Anyways, she lets you know, Halia, she lets you know that's where they've been. She wants them out, and she wants their leader dead. She'll pay you 100 gold to kill Glassstaff.
That's even easier money when we get back from finding.
And I mean,
And that's her. That's how she thinks you could find a goblin, like a goblin that knows where Cragmaw Castle is.
We have a goblin.
She
who
did
knows
not.
where Cragmaw Castle
She does
is?
not know that unless you're telling her that now.
We do have a goblin.
I would not say that out loud.
Why?
No, I'm not saying that out loud.
That's weird.
What?
It's,
So yeah, she's
my-
a. That's
the
fine.
concern I would voice here is that the last thing we heard was that there were like 20 red cloaks, and there's like less than that of us.
There are less than that of you. That's true.
I'd want to know if there were any other, say, like-minded citizens around that we could talk to.
Or adventurers, even.
What do you
Yeah,
mean?
The Lion Shield Coster, aren't they a they're a group, aren't they?
Are you asking Halia?
Yeah, I'm asking, like, would they want to throw down with these people too?
The Lion Shield Coster is, they are a faction here. We used to have a representative in town from the Lord's Alliance, though I haven't seen that wizard in a while.
Didn't
She
we-
also
didn't we
knows. She
see
goes,
a-
but there are other
Is that
groups.
Yarno?
There
Didn't
are
we see
there
a
are other
wizard
groups and
conversing
other
with the town master
representatives
earlier?
of people in town as well. A wizard?
Yeah, we saw Sildar.
Sildar.
Well, he
So
has
was
a beard.
He's a beard.
Was the representative
Hair
of the
only
Lion
grows
Shield
on the faces
Coster-
of wizards. I'm sorry. What are you saying?
Was the representative of the Lion Shield
I was
Coster
told you had to be a
Yarno?
wizard to have a beard. That's
The
why I
li-
don't have a beard.
What is Jerk
Yarno.
asking? I'm sorry. Stop.
I'm asking if the representative of the Lion Shield Coster, is that Yarno Albeck?
Yarno Albeck? No, I haven't heard that name though. Who is he?
He's a wizard who disappeared about 2 months ago as well. So it seems like a lot of shit happened 2 months ago, and no one's quite figured out what.
It has been about that long. Since I saw Herda. Herda is the hedge wizard who used to reside here in town. He actually has been elected the town master a few times, but he keeps turning it down. Though he does seem to come and help the town on occasion. I had actually expected him to come and do something about the red brands, though I haven't seen him.
Well, what else do we need
Do you
to
know where
about
his house
before we
is?
take off?
This Glassstaff. Do you have any information on him? Is he somebody that should be like? Is he a formidable, or are these just a bunch of bandits?
Well, yes, Rubier.
Okay.
Herda. So Glassstaff was, what she knows from Glassstaff, she knows from listening to the Red Brands talk at the Sleeping Giant tap room, and from just generally paying attention. You guys get the idea, obviously, that Halia's ear is to the ground, and she is definitely attempting to find out as much as she can about everything around.
Well,
She also deals in a lot of money and goods, so having a bunch of thugs around town is probably not good for her.
I think our next stop should be Herda's cabin. It's marked on the map here with arrow.
What was that? Does anybody remember?
That's like way off to well, that's one of the wizards, but
Yeah, but if we can, she also said that that he's been a big supporter of the town for a long time. If we can go get the support of a wizard, we can wipe the Red Brands out.
Or figure out why no one's seen him in 8 weeks.
Yeah,
How
either way,
far
it's something
out
to look
is
at.
the cabin, though?
well, we also need to work on going to get Gundren though. Like that.
Well, yeah, but we can't
Yeah,
do
we
that without a different goblin because apparently the goblin we have does not know where the castle is.
We need to update our
we,
goblin.
we don't know if he doesn't know that.
No, you wouldn't.
He
that.
says
That's
that-
not what you're
We
saying.
don't-
Game.
We're never going to know. We're never going to figure
Halia.
out everything this goblin doesn't know.
Halia doesn't know that you've brought a goblin in town.
I
mean,
know.
she might figure that out like later, but
Should we
she's
take this
been mining.
conversation
She's been
outside?
holding on to her shop for the time being, so she
Right.
doesn't
I
know
mean,
that. She's just
honestly, it's not-
suggesting a place for you to get a goblin. It's basically like, listen, and it also associates to a problem that she has. She's connecting some dots for you because she wants you to do
I heard
something.
you say that the goblin doesn't have that knowledge, but you sounded like you're underwater, so I wasn't.
No,
Oh,
it,
no, no,
I
no,
must
no.
have
Doesn't know
misheard you.
that we have a goblin.
She doesn't
Okay,
know
I
that
thought,
you
I
guys
thought
Our
you were saying
goblin-
the goblin didn't know.
Our
Mm, no,
goblin
no.
was like wanted to be the leader. He's obviously more intelligent than the other goblins. Could speak common. He said that he knew the way to Cragmore Castle.
Pew-Bear can speak common.
Sure. He obviously had some tendencies to try to, maintain or take leadership. So he said he had said when we had captured him that he knew how to get there. I believe.
Should we take him the map and
That wasn't that when we
have
were about to kill him?
Yes.
Sure.
Right. It's 9. Can we take a 5-minute break and then figure out what we're doing?
sounds good.
Sure.
Works for me.
My vote for when we get
big
back
map.
is take the map to the goblin, have him point out where Cragmaw Castle is, and tell him if we go there with him and it's not there, he dies.
Yeah, you guys.
Word.
I think your map
Works
tells
for me.
you a little bit about how long you traveled on the high road there.
I also I don't think I have the 2-bit punks D&D Dropbox.
It should be the only thing pinned to the Dungeony
Give me a
Dragons.
second. I'll link you.
Yeah, it's the only thing pinned on the Dungeony Dragons channel. So if you go there, click pin messages. There's the link for it.
Here, I got it.
Oh, I see.
Are you gonna take your smoke break, CJ?
Yeah, I am.
Okay.
I think I might have linked that image directly, but oops.
I was going to try also as well. Since I'm doing a lot of drawings in Illustrator recently. So if anybody has like concept stuff that they'd want, I'd be willing to like try to draw people's
Okay.
characters.
Oh, that would be awesome. I will
That's cool.
talk to you a bit more about that.
Yeah, because I'm trying to get better with Illustrator, so I need to practice. I'm going to try and do like at least a drawing every week or so.
Okay. I would
That's
say I
cool,
do
man.
more- As far as hands like creative, I sew. I can't draw for crud. I can't do anything else. So
I can draw on a computer. I can't draw with my hands.
fair enough.
Nobody can draw hands.
Yeah. Ridiculous.
But I shall be back.
Cool.
All right. Yeah. See you guys in a few minutes. I'll throw the old
I'm going to stay here.
waste screen up. Oh yeah. Okay. I mean, do you guys like out of character, out of game, just want to throw out what you're thinking to do here, so that way when we come back in, you
I
guys
think
get to-
it's imminent that we go and try to find Gundren. I feel like if we just keep neglecting to go try to at least go find him, he's gonna die if he hasn't already.
This bandit situation's been evolving over the last 2 months.
Yeah, I mean, I
We-
don't.
We should
Don't-
go get our friend.
Yeah, we should at least go get him first. Also, I don't know why everyone was upset with me telling her about him because she was obviously a friend of his and was happy that we knew him, and so
Maybe I
figured
just couldn't see that.
because she was like, "Oh, Gundren, Why didn't you say so earlier?
Yeah, that
Like,
was after.
obviously a
How-
friend.
Yes, but how did you know to tell her that before she said that?
I told her that our friend Gundren says he has a map,
Well,
and then she got really excited about it.
no, Chris babbled out that you guys found a magical cave, and then she was like, "Wait a minute, what do you know?" You know, she like wanted to know what
Right.
you knew before she dealt with you or told you anything.
Right. And
She's-
so I
She's
said that
pretty
our
clever.
friend
She's
Gundren.
trying to like get you to talk before she talks.
So I was like, our friend Gundren says he has a map, and then she was obviously excited, and was saying that he was her friend, or I could tell
when you said
by
yeah,
her expression
it
and
was
the way she
Gundren.
was talking, you know, why didn't you say something before? So obviously, if he's captured or in trouble, she would probably want to know what happened, and also would probably be more willing to help us. Was my train of thought there, at least.
That's fine. My train of thought was I don't trust anybody.
Well, sure, that's your character, though.
Exactly. My character doesn't trust anyone.
It's not a bad character trait to have.
But you also have to remember, like, she did wake up in a sack and doesn't exactly know where she's at, and this is the first sign of like civilization since she's woken up.
Yeah, right. You were in Neverwinter, and then asleep, and then you woke up in the woods, and now you're out in Phandalin, a frontier town,
Right. That's
much
why
smaller than the city you were in.
quiet and hidden very much, because it's like, I don't know what's going on. I don't know what happened, like amnesia essentially.
You're good. I just
So also,
Hey,
I may be back a little bit later because boyfriend needed a minute to wake up a bit more. My
Wait,
vote
are you
is
just-
Sildar is pretty adamant about at least staying the night in the town hall, so we should arrange sleeping arrangement. Stay here tonight and possibly use that as a night to gather information more so about the Red Brands to see if we can't even infiltrate them and get even more knowledge.
yes.
Like at least spend 2 nights in town, and that way we don't have to worry about exhaustion for traveling days and weeks on end without proper bedding. And
Sure. Yeah. No, I mean, I don't have a problem with staying the night. I just think that if we go, go multiple days trying to investigate and also fight this bandit group, that we are going to.
well, like, I'm not saying we have to deal with them now, but it wouldn't
Right.
hurt
Yeah.
to at least find weaknesses, possible vantage points, all that type of thing.
Sure. I'm just more concerned, I guess, with finding Gundren first.
Right,
because
but
I
if
don't want him to
Sildar
die.
wants to spend the night here interrogating the goblin and relaxing before heading out,
I don't think he was going to go with us in the first place. I'm pretty sure.
we can always try in the morning.
Yeah.
He told you if you.
He wants to
the things
establish
he told
himself here. So I don't believe that he wants us to go find Gundren, but I don't believe he was going to go with us. He was going to try to establish himself here and keep the peace while we went and did that. So we have somebody who is a knight who can, deal with the Red Brands for now until we get back.
That's fair. But all right, I shall be right back because cigarette quick.
All right. I'm gonna say hi to Abby. She just got done with 2 exams and a really long weekend set of stuff, so I haven't had a moment to see how she's
good?
doing with that. I'll not be super long.
How dare you? Come on. Find my other computer. What the fuck? Okay. What is my computer's IP address? CMD IP config 0.7.
What is my what? Yeah, okay. So I thought. How are you doing?
Monday.
Yeah.
So, Bear, it looks like we'll be on the same Overwatch team.
Oh yeah. Yeah, I mean, I don't know if I'm rolling if I'm gonna be slotted in a DPS or what who's playing what yet. I guess if
Yeah.
are we trying to go for roles?
I can't snipe to save my life.
I am a little out of practice with Widow. I would need to start. I usually would go into the fuck.
I feel pretty confident with like hit scans like Widow and like McCree and stuff like that. I just also realize how much I as a player like need to rely on the team for stuff like that. If the enemy goes Winston and starts jumping me, I'm not a Widow who can take care of the Winston on her own. I'm not one of those Widows.
Sure,
but if it's about like providing cover fire and sniping another Widow, like that I'm pretty good at. But no, once the Winston gets in my face without help, I'm probably like, So that's usually how I feel about that particular DPS role. But I also feel confident enough in like my Pharah that I can deal with most Widows.
I can't Pharah for shit. So if we need one, it's gonna have to be you.
I mean, I think she's like Sky Junkrat right now, anyways. So it's like if they have a shield comp, we're gonna need to bust the shields down with Pharah and a Hanzo, unless Ashe seems to be a shield breaker for some reason, but don't quite seem like it. But
I break shields with Reaper and Junkrat, the old-fashioned way.
Right, Junkrat. I mean,
Reaper's better now.
I like Junkrat too, but right now Pharah's in just a better place than Reaper
I know how to
Junkrat is.
I can Hanzo pretty solid, and Mei. I basically play Mei as an off tank.
I would think it's stuff
like 250 health.
Yeah, but she also has a really good self heal, and the if you play her walls correctly.
No, I'm saying she has more health than most damage.
Oh yeah, okay.
Yeah.
Like Pharah, who's covered in armor, has less health than Mei.
right. I mean, Roadhog.
Yeah, well, Mei's like Roadhog. They're fat, and so they're stronger.
More health than Reinhardt in a giant.
I am the strongest one of you all.
What was I gonna do? Oh, I'm going to remote into a server.
What?
Yeah, so
why?
Sorry that took a couple minutes longer. I thought it was Ileana was
That's all right.
on the PTR. She was playing as Ashe.
I have a copy of Adobe Illustrator on this server that I'm trying to get.
Oh hey, Godwall, Destiny is free.
Yeah, I know. The download happened today from noon to 6.
Nice.
It's a long time, feels like.
That's how long it takes on my internet.
Okay. I should grab a drink before we start.
So in general, are you guys going to be like doing anything else here? Any more questions for her, or moving on to somewhere else in
I
town?
forgot what all we asked, unfortunately.
I have another question I wanted to ask her. I wanted to ask her if anything of note happened 2 months ago, because that seems to be when the town kind of went to shit. All the supplies started going missing. Like, did somebody new come in? Was there a power shift?
Yeah, the Red Brands showed up.
That was it?
Red Brands showed up. The Red Brands showed up, and like she said, she's been around and keeping tabs. She knows they have a leader named Glassstaff, but she's never seen Glassstaff. So she also knows that they're operating out of the manor, but she's never seen this Glassstaff person. Right. Unless maybe he's, I don't know, maybe he's been disguised or something, but she's not recognized him. It just seems pretty on her business.
Right, so what do you guys think? Should we go to Horade's cabin and see?
I think we need to go rescue Gundren.
But we don't know where he is.
I know, but we have a goblin who says he knows where he is.
Right. So if we give go deliver the map to.
I think we could ask around to different prospectors because this lady is. Are there any prospectors in the general area that we would see or an earshot or well, she closed the door, so no. But
Yeah,
around
she closed the
area.
door. 'Cause she looked around and closed the door to make sure she was having a private conversation with you guys.
Right, but she would be the one who is
The most knowledgeable of any of those people, probably.
well, they're the ones actually out in the field, though.
Well, she
she's
said
in
she
it.
I mean,
talks to every
that's
single
okay.
one.
I trust her, but like she's also like in a shop and people are telling her things. But if somebody may have stumbled across or seen it from a distance and decided not to go over there,
Like if there's other adventurers in the immediate build-in that
Right. Well, I'm thinking prospectors because they're generally going around cave-ish areas looking for gold and gems and things.
She also told you that, and I'll throw you back onto your map here, that she believes the goblins are originating from the woods, the Neverwinter Wood, and most of those prospectors are coming from the Sword Mountains. So,
Okay.
but she did tell you that they're pretty much not coming from here.
Yes.
Well, they're probably coming from up this way.
So maybe an adventurer would be a better.
Wasn't
better
the
bet.
wood comparing this
She
to the
did
bad
tell you
map?
that she doesn't
That's
know the
where we
location
were.
of it. She knows of it.
Can you draw the bad map onto this map?
Oh, you want to know where the
Yeah.
where your other part was?
Yeah, like
Yeah.
where were we?
How would you do
You
that?
could probably put it on
Best? This map is well drawn, and you have it there. I would say if you talked to Sildar again and looked at it, he'd probably be able to help you mark exactly where it is, versus you guys kind of guesstimating where it is. Because I could kind of like throw you back and forth between these. But as you'll notice, hand carved map
Not
didn't quite cut it compared to 30 gold Sword Coast map.
I feel like we were probably around here when we headed north.
Right, because you didn't make it to the trail.
We didn't make it to this trail, but we weren't that far off from it.
So I say, well.
But like I said, if you talk to Sildar again, he'll sit down and he'll give you. You guys could approximate it fairly good with his help.
It's gonna be a little bit later. I say we go talk to the goblin, and my intimidation is +4, so I could try to intimidate him and see if he knows where the crags are by looking at the or the Cragmaw Castle is by looking at the map.
Yeah.
I think locating the place is the first thing we should do.
I feel like he's also probably pretty scared. He's in a human town in a jail cell.
Well, who's got the highest perception? Watch him while he's drawing.
And the smell.
I think that's our best bet.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, I have been wanting to go talk to him and get on our way, or at least get supplies, maybe spend the night, and then head out in the morning.
That sounds good.
So I'll throw you guys back to the Phandalin map. So you dropped off your provisions here when you got in. You stopped at the Lion Shield Coster and delivered the crates and sacks to them, and they ended up having weapons in them. You talked to the town master here where Sildar was. He had delivered the goblin. You guys chatted with him a bit, and then you came down to the miners' exchange and talked to Halia, who has told you that she thinks the best way that you're going to find out where Cragmaw Castle is she thinks through the Red Brands, because she believes they're working with the goblins. She's seen goblins coming from the manor.
Okay. I did forget that she said that.
But there's also going to be there's 20 Red Brands plus whatever goblins they have. So I say
We could.
She also doesn't know you have a goblin.
We talk to ours first.
I feel like we should tell her we have a goblin.
I feel like we shouldn't
I
because
don't trust her.
our current we're outsiders.
She deals with information.
Yeah, but we are also.
Depending on how this could go, we can end up turning this into our town.
Well, we're also trying to help
Ooh.
her.
Works for us.
We're also offering to help go find her friend, and it also
That's fine.
benefits
But
her.
once we get back, who do you think would have power control over this town? This random group of adventurers that just showed up and saved it? Or would it go back to her? Because we gave her too much information.
I don't, because we
Ooh.
told her we have a goblin.
I'm assuming you guys have left her establishment and are having this
Yeah.
Oh, yeah,
conversation
yeah.
outside.
We're
Otherwise,
arguing outside.
I'm going to have her react to the things you're talking about. So.
Yeah. I was
Yeah, I
gonna
think
say. I
She
feel
bids you
like,
farewell, and she says if there's any more, if you're interested in the work that she told you about, killing Glassstaff. And
Yes.
oh, I'm sorry. There is one other important thing that she said, and oh my gosh, I'm really sorry I forgot this.
Okay.
100 gold to eliminate Glassstaff, and bring her any correspondence that you find in his quarters. Specifically, she mentions looking for correspondence that he may be writing.
Okay.
So that means she wants you to be hired him.
Creepy.
So yeah, I think if we talk to our goblin, we can kind of bypass the whole Trezadar mansion until we come back after we've leveled up again, and then we can just fuck them all up.
So my understanding here is our goblin probably knows, at least in a general area, how to get to Cragmaw Castle. We have a map where he can at least try to tell us, and we can maybe try and figure it out. We could go the more risky route and see if we can capture a single red brand and see if we can get some information out of him or her or whoever. Or we could, I mean, I don't know if telling her that we have a goblin what that would do. I don't see that being a negative thing to us.
I don't see.
It being positive either. Like,
it-
She I feel like she deals in information, and anything that we give her is going to be given away or sold to someone else. So we'll have a target on her back.
Okay.
That's
it's
just kind
better
of
to
how I feel
keep our
about
mouth
it.
shut and leave no traces.
All right, then.
I feel
All
like
right.
I should figure out. Never mind.
What?
Oh, go for it.
Well, you wanna
I
figure
gotta-
out what-
I gotta, like,
what
there's
Pubert would
things I
do?
want to say, but it's like Pubert has an intellect of 8,
Yeah.
so I don't want to be like, well, our best course of action would obviously be to do this, and then this, and then this, when he'd be more like, yes, anything in the name of justice and goodness is right.
I can
Well,
I
even
can
Well-
translate.
Even 8-year-olds have pretty good instincts sometimes.
Oh, I
yeah,
know.
If you have an idea, you could go ahead. Here, look, if you want to like tell an idea and also roleplay a character, what if you just like think of the thing you want to say, but have Pubert say it in a dumb way? I mean, like maybe that would fit.
What I should do is I should really figure out how Pubert is dumb, so to speak, so I'm not
Right.
playing like a generically stupid character.
I mean, yeah.
More like,
So
guy a little slow on the uptake, maybe doesn't get the joke.
yeah, and I don't think it's fair to you to like have an idea and not throw in what you feel like you should do. That's where I'm like, maybe
I love
he's
Pubert,
come
and
about it in a weird way. Like,
I love
you know,
Pubert, but
she
I
was
like
wearing
Joe's
shoes,
input
and I
too.
feel like that means we should walk. Like, I don't know. Like, you do you though, man. You do you.
Her shoes were red, and you know what that means.
Yes.
Okay,
just-
good, because I was hoping somebody could explain it to me.
Well, what were your thoughts?
Well, just it's not information, the goblin thing, not information that we should really be shelling out there just because we don't know how it's going to be used. So I don't see it being used against us. It doesn't mean it can't be.
And
So,
let's say
so
it's
you're just
red
of the
brand.
opinion of keeping the captured goblin to yourselves.
Okay.
Yeah.
I mean, and the town master is gonna bitch about it to somebody eventually. So it's
The
gonna
town
spread.
master knows that we have it.
He's not super
I
happy
just-
about it.
I don't see
So
what
does
she could
Sildar.
actually what information she
The
could
fact
give
that
us
she
about the
okay.
goblin.
So here's my train of thought.
So I feel we
Two
should just
people that
go
there's
to
two
the
people
goblin.
in town that know that we have the goblin.
Okay, let's go to the goblin
One-
and just
That's
one
what
that-
I'm
look
sure
at the
she
map.
can get it
One-
from them.
Okay, can I one that we can't really trust to not tell people, so it's probably going to get out regardless. She is, we know, a friend of
Gundren, and obviously wants us to go rescue him, and is willing to give us information to the point where she closed the door to make sure that she was only telling us, and was willing to give us a map, or at least sell us like her personal map,
Which
and at least yeah, and also try to at least give us some general idea of where to go help this person that she likes. So I don't think that she's gonna just like fuck us over if we tell him, oh, well, these people are working with the goblins, you believe?
I
Well,
think
we
this
have
might be
one
the
of the
most
goblins
ridiculous
that's part
argument
of
we've
that
ever
tribe.
done.
As I'm sure Sildar is going to go
Yeah.
talk to her after he communicates with the goblin anyway. So why not let Sildar decide what is best for the town, since he is obviously somebody who is a power role in this town.
He's not though. He just got here.
He's well, you know what? I'm outvoted, so you guys can I'll just go along. It's fine.
So where are you going along to?
I would like to go to the goblin and just show him the map. And if I have to use intimidation, I've got like a pretty high intimidation skill, and see if he can point out where it is. If he can't, then we can move on to the next thing. I just think that might be the best thing to do.
I'll just for the sake of moving you guys along here, the goblin's probably not very good at reading a map, but he's probably much better at finding his way through goblin trails in the woods. So if you were to take him back towards where you were, and then he might be able to help like go from there. I'm just gonna throw that out just because it'll help move things along. I feel like he's probably not great with maps. It's not good with numbers. Probably don't have a lot of goblin artisans drawing overhead maps of things for them.
But there should be.
I mean, that would probably improve goblin life significantly. And if you feel like becoming a new goblin mayor who brings better life to goblins, I'm sure that is a course that you could go down in this adventure if you so choose.
But I'm a tiefling, not a goblin.
I mean, yeah, but
you could convince them all that you're a goblin.
All right. So what do we think? What do we want to? What do we want to do? Do we want to
let's
snatch up the goblin, or is there more information in town we need to get?
I want to visit Mama Piterbottom.
I want to go with you. I want to see Mama Piterbottom.
I
want to go
to not see Mama Piterbottom.
you do not want to go see your mother?
I want
After
Jerk to
10
not go see my mother.
After 10 years? You want jerk? Okay.
Oh, snap! I had no idea they were brothers.
You just now figured this out. I love it.
I don't normally bring it up
Yeah, you
because,
guys are
well, I mean, have you met him?
It is pretty hard
I
to,
love
match my glory.
Like it's sometimes hard to convince people we're related.
That's fantastic. How did I?
I mean, I am outstanding and shining, and then you have Godwall.
Oh, brotherly love.
Let's go see Mama Piterbottom.
Okay. Is that the votes?
Yeah, we could.
I mean, I'm doing it.
I mean,
Oh, he's doing it. Vubert's going. He's on the way. You guys following him?
And Godwall will have sleep at Mama Bottom's, but what about the rest of us?
Oh, I'm sleeping on the couch or with Mama Piterbottom.
Hey, you stab Mama Piterbottom, I stab you.
I suppose you can figure that out if you go
The
there,
rest of the party fight you.
right? It's gonna be a party fight.
Woo!
Okay.
Oh.
I kind of want to. I want to see how this plays out.
Okay, let's
I
see.
have magic powers.
No, I'm not gonna sleep with anybody except for maybe the minor woman.
All right. So to the old Piterbottom home.
Slowly.
To the old Piterbottom home. Is that right? Am
To
I
the
hearing this
old
correctly?
Piterbottom home.
All right.
Where
Wait.
can I go to go get like food and stuff?
The end, probably. Or
If you want a room and a meal, also maybe a drink, the Stonehill Inn is going to
I'm gonna go to the Stonehill
If you're
Inn.
talking about the rations and food, you can buy those at Barthen's Provisions. He's probably got a
Believe we
wider
s-
selection than the Lion Shield Coster. Again, Barthen's more adventuring supplies and food. Lion Shield Coster has some food around, sure, but they're weapons and armor.
I believe we have rations still currently.
You guys all do
Yep.
have your rations. You haven't had to worry about food up to this point because
we've had
you've had Gundren's supplies that you've been eating out of. But
Yeah.
now you are on your own for your rations versus any
you-
other food you might take. And you do
You
have a
guys
cart.
You guys can go to the Piter Bottom home over here. I'm gonna be right around the corner at the Stonehill Inn.
I'm actually going to go with Taliesin on this one.
Yeah, and I'm gonna go and order some food and drink, and well, once we get there, I'll role play it.
All right.
I asked the boys, I'm like, do you want some company to go see mom? Would that make you feel more comfortable, or should I go do my own thing?
Hmm.
How polite. How uncharacteristically polite.
Right.
I'll look at Godwald for this one.
I mean, we've got a name for a Red Cloak leader, but we don't have a face, and we know where he drinks.
I was actually going to suggest going to the Sleeping Giant tap room, so I could go there, and if I have to roll stealth, I've got a +7. Just
I
kinda
mean,
to
if we
scope
wanna
the place
go-
out.
If you want to do that, we could all stop by the inn, get room, and then I could put a
What's-
disguise kit on you to make you appear like a red cloak and then send you in.
I don't want to go in disguise. How sneaky is you, though?
I'm super sneaky with my box.
With your box, it has to be touching the ground.
It's more of a setup when nobody's looking kind of thing. The guard turns
feel like-
around. The guard turns
you know what?
around. You stand
I
up. You walk a little
mean,
feet. You move it
I
down.
guys-
Guard turns back
you
around.
guys-
They think the
My
box is where it was
worst
before.
Stealth, but I'm
But
also
this-
not the best.
The disguise kit isn't a bad idea if she were to disguise you as a red brand.
I don't want to be a red
You
brand.
could
Though, so I'm gonna
probably-
get
All right.
drug into some stuff I don't want to.
Well, you don't-
I hear
You're
Jerk is
also
not
really
going.
stealthy, and you could probably slip away unnoticed, but you could probably get some information.
Yeah, like going in disguise would allow us to get information a lot
I-
easier than
I-
stealth
I,
in it.
I
I'm
think
gonna-
a stealth +7 though would be me sitting at the bar, moving around pretty unnoticed. If I
That's
roll
All
right.
right.
Guys, Taliesin,
Yes.
Sparkle Gem, Jerk. Sounds like you're not going to the old Piper Bottom home. Why don't you
Nope.
jump into the 2-bit D&D chat and talk in there really fast so I can
Okay.
role play out how this goes with Godwald and Pubert.
Yep.
Does that sound good?
Yep.
All right.
I'm
I
ready.
will.
You do
So
that.
we should just
quickly.
close
Alright,
the.
You guys are free to listen in too. It's fine
Okay.
because
I'll mute
I'm
my mic.
assuming that as a party of adventurers who have lived and killed together, that you would also discuss this sort of thing. So I'm not going to say, hey, don't listen.
People want their greenies?
Is that
So-
what you said?
On your way. Yeah, it's not. I don't know who said that from where. Hubert and Godwald, on your way to the Piter Bottom home, you pass by the Shrine of Luck. It's the only shrine in the town. This shrine is directly in front of your mother's home, your family home that you remember from when you were younger. And there's an elf there who is praying at a temple, and she sees you before you had passed by the house. Says, "Greetings, travelers. Have you come to worship Timora?" Which is the goddess of luck. Just happens
gonna have
to
to
be in
stop and
front of
think
your
about this
house. This happens to be in front of your house.
Was this here when we left?
No, you could tell that this shrine is not hastily put together, but it's a collection of some of the stones from around the city that have been gathered here. It's not a very fancy shrine.
And I'll look at the shrine and look at her and be like, well, this is new.
Oh,
Uh,
it has only been here for the last 8 or so years. Are you new to Phandalin?
Well, no, but we've been gone for a long time.
Oh, well,
Huh?
welcome home, travelers.
Well, thank you.
And she offers to, if you'd like to join her in a prayer to Timora.
I'd like to make a religion check.
Me too.
Okay. And what are we checking here?
It's like, how much do I know about
Okay.
the teachings of Tamora?
Yeah, same here. So I've got a 13 total.
All right.
I got 11.
And does it conflict with any of the possible gods I worship?
How did I put this? Where did I put it? I put it in deities. Deities, Timora. With a 12, and you guys have bonuses on that?
I have a penalty.
You have a penalty, so
plus-
you're 11.
I have +1, so I'm 13.
Plus one. How do you have a penalty to religion as a cleric? How did that work out?
Never got around to those books.
Okay. All right. Well, of all people, Pubert knows that Timora is the bright-faced goddess of fortune. It's the one to whom gamblers and game players pray to in the land of Faerun. She's known as our smiling lady, and that she loves none so much as those who gamble with the utmost skill and daring. She is thought to watch over all who take risks to benefit their fortunes. Timora is I guess it's a not really, yeah, she's not an evil god. She's not a good god. So she's a neutral god. She doesn't, she has worshippers of all kind, and their faith tends to typically not have many acolytes like Sister Gariel, who's introduced herself now. I'm Sister Gariel. You notice that she's a young elf. And yeah, you're okay. You're okay. If you're praying to the god of luck, this god typically gets along with others because it seems to almost kind of pass them to and from. So
Okay, yeah, that was my biggest concern, is if any of the gods I potentially worship would be offended if I
do
did a
not
prayer.
I do not believe so.
Okay,
So
well, upon
this should be fine.
upon knowing that, I will join her in a prayer.
All right. All she asks is that you toss a coin towards the shrine and call it heads or tails before it lands. And of course, the coin is the donation.
Okay.
Is the pittance.
I'll call tails, and I'll go ahead and throw a silver piece.
All right. I think you could actually do that on here. Is it D2? No, there's a coin flip. I know it's somewhere. I don't know how to do it. Do you want to just roll a 6, and then if it's 3, 2, or 1, it's tails. 4 or 5 or 6, it's heads.
Works for me.
Tails.
3.
You called it.
Right.
You feel. Wait, actually, Godwald, are you going to risk the wrath of Bahamut?
I think I'll pass. I'm still a little jarred that this is here.
Okay. Godwald, you feel, or not Godwald. God, I'm so sorry. I keep mixing guys up. Pubert, you feel as if luck has blessed you. The coin that you tossed in towards the offering tray actually bounces back up into your hand, and you notice it's cleaner than it was before.
Oh.
You have a boon of luck. Oh my gosh, I really didn't think this was gonna happen. Sorry. The boon of luck. I think basically you're gonna get like a free roll. It's like inspiration, but on only attack rolls. You can't use it like on ability checks.
Oh,
I'm pretty
okay.
sure. Yeah. Let me try and find it real fast.
And real
be
quick too,
positive.
did we so we all pitched in gold for the map. I got a call at the time.
Oh yeah, it was 6 gold marked off your sheet,
Okay.
if I remember correctly.
Okay. Yeah, I wanted to make sure
the boon of
marked that
luck.
up.
All right, so you might as well take notes on this, or I'll try and post it somewhere. You have 3 luck points, actually. Wow. Whenever you make an attack roll, an ability check, or a saving throw, you can spend 1 luck point to roll an additional D20. So it's like advantage on your roll. 3 inspirations, more or less. You could choose one of your luck points after you roll the die, but before the outcome is determined. So if you roll a die and I'm like, you're dead, then, like or that hits, You know,
Yeah.
you can't do it. But if you roll the die and you're like, I want to use a luck point before I call what happens, you can roll basically with advantage. You can also spend a luck point when an attack roll is made against you, and then you roll a d20 and choose the attacker's or yours.
Oh.
And
Result.
you're not, and then you just have 3 luck points. That's it, total 3 luck points.
There's a snap.
Yep. You don't get them back or anything. It's the boon of Timora. The luck god has blessed you. And it was pretty incredible.
that's why-
As you flip the coin in, you call it tails, and then it just jumps back out of the offering plate up into your hand, cleaner than it was before.
Oh.
And Sister Gariel says, she notices this and she recognizes what just happened. She says, Timora has blessed you, and I'm so glad to have met you this day. Do you travelers have a purpose here in Phandalin? Are you passing through? Just curious about you now that the luck god has blessed you.
Oh, we're here to visit my mom.
Oh, that's wonderful. Such a good heart.
Just completely ignore everything else that's happened. No, we're here to visit mom. See how she's doing.
I blessings of Timora upon you, and I hope your travels are lucky.
Well, thank you. And you as well. Well, Godwald, it's best not to keep mother waiting.
So then you guys walk to your house, which is right behind here.
Yeah. I think we lost.
Oh,
Oz for a
Godwald.
moment.
Is he back?
Oh, there he is.
He's back. All right, so you guys go up to your house. You've noticed that Sister Gariel is eyeing you with very much curiosity.
Excuse me.
You barge in, you knock on the door. What do you do?
Is there anything like how does it look different than when we left? Because I know that we're taller, so it
You
looks
guys,
shorter.
it's been 10 years. There's the house has been kept in a similar condition to what it was. As with most of the homes in Phandalin, though, they're not really fantastic. It's a frontier town. People do more repairs than they do expansions to things. Unless you're talking about like some of the big shops and those shopkeepers, their places are a bit nicer than most places. So your home's in similar condition to how you left it. Maybe some patchwork on the outside.
I would knock on the door while
You
he's
would-
still looking at his coin.
You knock on the door, and the door opens. Your mother opens the door and immediately recognizes her children. She's excited. My boys! And she jumps up and hugs you, Godwald, and then hugs Pubert, who's behind him looking at his coin. And you notice the elf, Sister Gariel, walks over. And she goes, I never would have guessed that these were your children. And of course, she's kind of butting herself into the conversation. But your mom's just stoked. I'm so happy to see you. Why are you back here? Why did you leave Neverwinter? What brings you back to Phandalin?
I'll let her know that Herda had called us back to Phandalin and basically relay the adventures we've had since we've started, or that basically we took part of on our way here.
What, as they happened, or building up your parts every turn?
You're
What?
retelling the story, right?
Yeah.
So you catch your mom up, and she basically it's like that sounds incredible and dangerous. I hope you boys are staying safe. I've been. She's like,
Are you eating?
I hope you
You
stay
don't look
safe.
like you're eating.
Yeah, she thinks you're so handsome, Pierre. She's like, you're so handsome. You've grown so much. She's really stunned that you turned out as well as you have.
Wait till
she
she
actually
sees,
tells you. She actually tells you that she's managed to be safe because of Sister Gariel here. So the elf cleric who you were just talking to, she says that she's actually been caring for her since she came to town. She, like they met. Your mother's now an alkalite, not a cleric like Sister Gariel is, but she's a worshiper of Timora, and Sister Gariel's been not only keeping her safe, but many of the townspeople as well. And
Well, I'm going to express my appreciation for keeping Mama happy and safe.
She's just generally really excited to see you. She asks if you're staying the night and you want food, and of course she insists that you stay. She hasn't seen you in 10 years.
Yes.
She offers you food, and you notice that Sister Gariel comes as well. They both live here, so she's been helping her mom a lot. So yeah, you guys can catch up and hang out, and she'll make you dinner and offer you a place to stay, and she's really excited. I'm supposing at some point through the adventures you tell them that they're there. She says, there's really not many more places for them to sleep, but if they'd like to sleep on the floor here, they're more than welcome to. So if you wanted to go find them and bring them back for a home-cooked meal, she'll use up some of the food that she's got and cook for everyone.
I will. Yeah, you know what? I'll offer to go find them and see if they're interested.
All right. Well, Sister Gariel, she's just excited as well, and she says, she's excited to meet you boys. Your mother had told her about you, and this is great. So that's pretty much all that really happens there. I don't have a ton of stuff happen for you. I didn't want to be like, oh, your mom's dead or some other craziness. Nope, your mom's okay. Your mom's okay, and she's got this elf cleric helping take care of her and this town. So Mama's all right.
She's doing mom things.
Yeah, well, she's a weaver, so she's still making clothes. She notices your pants are brown, so she asks, "Are you falling in the mud, or remember a long time ago you fell in that grease lick and your butt was brown?"
Yeah.
You mean like about a few days and 0 baths ago?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Oh yeah.
She offers.
Smell too good.
Nope. But she offers to clean up your clothes, clean you up.
I'm laughing because I had a similar story, but yeah, of course I'm gonna let mom do laundry. No, okay, now I feel like I have to clarify that just real quick to the aside. When I was in school, I was driving to visit my parents, and I got in, and it was a long trip, so I got in at 10 at night. My mom comes out, she hugs me, and she's like, "Go ahead and throw your laundry in the laundry room, and I'll wash it in the morning." And I said, "Oh, thanks, Mom, but I did my laundry before I came." And she had this is the most disappointed, "Oh," I've ever heard the woman utter. And I didn't realize that being an adult was going to disappoint her so badly. So from that point forward, I always made sure to dirty up some laundry before I came home from school.
All right.
That's silly.
It's weird because I did my own laundry in high school, so I don't understand where it came from, but I wasn't expecting it. But Lord knows I don't want to experience that again.
Right. Mama Piterbottom is excited to take care of you. She sent you guys off so that you would have a better life. She sees you here now. She's so happy that you've come back to town and that you're doing well. Yeah. Yeah, you guys are feeling pretty awesome about this. And Bear is feeling pretty lucky. So,
oh yeah,
that was pretty much all that happened here. I'd like to switch back over to the other group and ask them where they decided to go.
Sure.
Maybe I'll jump in there. All right, looks like they're leaving. Cool. Hey guys.
There we go.
All right.
Okay, so where are we at?
I gotta try to get you back up. Hang on.
This is the luck shrine that was out front of their mother's house. They went back. They found Mom. Mom's great. What were you guys doing? Or where did you want to go?
We were talking about what we wanted to do and what would be most beneficial for the group as a whole.
Yes.
Did
I'm
the
gonna
three
be
of you
going.
pick a place that you wanted to go to?
I'm going to the inn. I'm gonna ask for a room. So I'll walk into the inn and walk up to the. I guess this is it like a bar?
Are Sparkle Gem and Jerk going too?
I'm going with him to discuss room arrangements.
Okay. And Jerk, are you going?
I'm going to be going to the bar.
Oh,
He's going to the tap room.
you're gonna go to the Sleeping Giant tap room.
Yeah.
Okay, we'll run yours next then, and we'll go with going to the Stonehill Inn. Whoop!
All
We're
right.
at the
Oh, dude,
Stonehill
look at
Inn.
these World of Warcraft.
I
graphics.
know, right?
Um,
It's pretty awesome. Give me
so-
just a second to read over this, so I'm on point with this, not stuttering on you guys. Remember that you were told that the innkeeper's name is Toblin Stonehill, which the other two would have known from before. Toblin's had the inn here for some time, but you guys haven't met him, but you know his name.
I love his chocolate.
we learned this from. I don't remember who.
Holly.
We learned it from the banker.
Oh, the bank. Oh, okay. Yeah, somebody
Yeah, 'cause I
told
have-
somebody told you the name of the person who runs the
Yeah,
inn.
it was the banker.
Okay.
There's
he
his
was
awesome
the-
picture down in the lower left. There's Toblin.
Yes.
Toblin Stonehill,
The banker was the town.
town
master?
master.
Okay, so I'll walk in and walk up to the bar
Oh.
and what was I'm sorry, what
We
was
got a
this dude's
ding.
name? This he looks like he's struggling a little bit. What's his name? This guy?
Thanks, Queen Sassy. Hey,
Toblin.
Tap?
Toblin.
Oh,
Toblin
okay.
Stonehill.
All right, so
Queen
I'll
Sassy.
walk in and walk up to the bar and I'll be like, "Hello, I was told that a man by the name of Toblin was the owner of this fine establishment. Is he available?"
Toblin says, "Well, you found the right man. I'm Toblin Stonehill. I run this here inn known as the Stonehill Inn. We offer room and board, and food and drink. Suppose it's
Alright,
board, right?
so- all right, so I will say, well met, my friend. Me as well as my companion here, Sparkle Gem, and I believe we have one more, but I think, has ventured down to the tap room to grab a drink. He's ventured off somewhere. I'm sure he'll be back later. We're looking for food and ale, and as well as a room. Do you have anything available?
I actually have 2 rooms, but one adventurer actually rents it out. I have 2 rooms available until one adventurer rented the last one out, so I still have 1 room. You could probably fit 3 people in there.
Was it Sildar?
One of you might be sleeping on the floor, though. I do apologize for that. If he's not interested in that, there is the stables around back, and you can definitely find a nice hay bale if they doesn't want to pay for sleeping on a floor.
Actually, I was wondering, and rather than paying, is there any way I could do a performance as payment for the room?
I don't know
That's
where she's
smart.
going with this.
Might disconnect for a second.
Huh. You know, we haven't had much entertainment here, though there aren't a lot of people in here. And you look around the room, and there are just the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 plus himself people on the bar. But a room is only a modest price of 8 silver pieces, and for another 8 silver, I'll throw in dinner or breakfast.
How about I do this performance and pull in, or at least entertain those here, and you cover all for free?
So you're gonna have to roll me persuasion.
Persuasion, darn.
You're trying to get him to give you something for.
Well, that's because if you read in
for
my
acting?
backstory, that's one of the perks I have.
Are you? Oh, it's like you have some advantage on this, don't you?
Yes, I do.
On
Background.
performance, you have pretty high advantage. Your perception, and your persuasion, you have pretty high modifier on it as well. So you'd be
Yeah, at such a place you receive free lodging and food of a modest or comfortable standard as long as you perform each night that you stay there.
all right.
In
Well, give me your persuasion roll, and I'll tell you what he says in response.
19.
19. Says, I'll tell you what. You impress me with a song, and you've got yourself a deal.
All right.
So basically, if he thinks you do pretty well, then he's making that deal with you. You'll get the room. You'll save yourself 8 silver pieces and 8 for a meal, dinner
Yeah,
or
so-
breakfast.
Yeah, that's still over a gold piece worth, so I'm content.
That's significantly less than a gold piece. A silver?
I thought it was 10 silver equals 1 gold.
Yeah, so it's still less than a gold piece.
16 total, it'd be a gold piece and a half.
Oh, I suppose. Well, either way, roll me your performance. Your
So,
I
and you're
apologize.
with
What is
advantage
that?
on this because of your
yes,
feature?
maybe.
I disconnected for a second. Sorry.
advantage on them against magic.
Okay, so
Expertise. Your expertise is it? That's not it. Class features. What is this on?
that's
I
on
don't
my
know
map.
what you're doing.
Expertise,
Entertainer.
perception,
Oh, as your entertainer. All right. Well, go ahead.
Yes.
Just roll it for me. Let's see how you do. See what he thinks of it.
So then I decide, as he says that, I pull out my Pan's flute and
Alright.
start to play Pan's lullaby across it. You know what I'm going to do?
With advantage, I'll let you go. Because of your background feature of entertainer, and he's
There we go.
already agreed to doing it. So that's
13 plus 4, 17.
17. He's impressed with your performance. He hasn't
Okay.
heard any music in a long time. Things have been a little sad around town lately. They've been having some trouble, and they're glad to have their spirits lifted by a cheery gnome playing the pan flute. I really can't think of much else that's probably like cheerier for someone to see. It's like world of goblins threatening everyone everywhere. And a gnome's like, ah. So yeah, he's impressed with your performance, and he offers you the room for, it's a discount for the room. He's excited to
Oh,
have you stay here. It lets you know is like the people in the bar have also enjoy your performance. And they gather around while you're playing. They clap.
Alright.
They clap when you're done. So bravo, bravo. What's your name?
I go by Seema.
Seema. Wonderful. They're pretty stoked. It's pretty stoked to have somebody playing music in town.
And I'm just going to chill down here because I assume it's still like not quite nightfall. I'm
What
okay.
do you guys want? Breakfast in the morning, or are you looking for dinner tonight?
Dinner tonight.
All right. Then he offers you up some of the stew that's been kind of heated up in the evening and around. So you get a free bowl of stew. It's hot. It's got some meat in it.
Sure.
Alright.
You don't need to use any kind of ration or anything for the day.
Well, hooray.
Yeah, there you go.
So yeah, I'm just going to spend majority of nightfall then performing, singing, dancing around, playing my flute.
As you're standing there, and you just now performed this and Taliesin, you initially talked to him. He turns to you and he says, "So, what brings you travelers here to Phandalin? Are you gonna try and find some riches in the hills?"
We'll try.
We'll try.
Yes, we do plan on venturing out in the morning. We have interest in what could be up in the northern woods. We'd heard stories of many things around these areas. Do you have any rumors that of anything of interest?
Toblin says, not a lot of interesting things have been happening around here. just some. Well, it's actually there's a bit of trouble in town. I don't know how long you guys might want to stay around here. If you've got some place to go, it might be a good idea to head that way.
Why do you say that?
Are you
His-
with me?
No, you're not, Godwald. You and Pubert,
Oh, man.
you had your own thing. So
Oh, yeah,
this
this
is
is
Sparkle
simultaneous.
Gem and Tailson because I got to do this.
Yeah.
Because you guys split up. Never
Yeah.
split the party. Then we got to do this thing all the time.
Yeah. We're new to this
This
town.
wasn't my
right?
idea.
Well, so
But-
so you see a woman come over who, after you guys have been talking, you realize it's his wife, and Trilena Stonehill, and she lets you know. She goes, "Well, actually, like, someone was killed in town just this morning."
Oh, what happened?
And then as she's talking, one of the other women in the bar comes over. Oh my gosh, where are they? Sorry.
Am I hearing
You also
this while I'm playing my flute?
Are you
or-
you're playing your flute?
You're still playing it?
Yeah, I figured I'd just dance around and like
He'll
make
tell
sure
he could tell you about it later.
happy or whatever.
Well, so the barmaid comes over. She heard that she mentioned that somebody had died this morning. She's like, "Yeah, those red brands. They came along, and they were threatening Thel Drendar, the local wood carver. They were leering and jeering at his wife, catcalling her. And when he stood up to them, one of the red brands took out a knife and stabbed him. A couple of the townsfolk saw it, and I don't know how anyone said it, but the ruffians, the red brands, they took off with his body, and his wife is, she's been wrecked. It's just terrible. You can tell that she starts getting stuttered and is just like real sad. Toblin goes over and comforts her, and he's like, "Yeah, this is something that we hope the town master is going to do something about them now that something like this has happened." And they're pretty distraught.
I understand. I believe I may be of some service.
Sad.
Although I have a very pressing matter that I must attend to, but I must leave in the morning, but I do plan to come back. And we do have a friend here who is a knight, and he plans on trying to keep some order. Is there any sort of resistance to these people? I mean, did the town folk? Obviously, the town folk do not like these people, and these people are coming from outside. It would seem. Is there any? Is there any whispers of? Is there anybody that you think that I should speak with?
So Toblin turns to you. He's like, "So you're an adventurer? Are you a mercenary? Do you actually would you be willing to fight these men?"
I'm more of a wanderer, but I don't like to see innocent people die by the hands of people that have nothing good to contribute.
He goes on to tell you that the town really doesn't have any kind of guard. There's a few people around, and at this point, everybody's kind of now in the conversation. So you have this collection of 7 people are talking to you, and I'm gonna assume Sparkle Gem stopped playing music so you guys can talk. They tell you they really don't have anyone to protect them. There's a few people in town who they hope will do something, but really they need help from outside of town. They sent for someone from the Lord's Alliance, but that person came and disappeared. They haven't seen him. They haven't been seen since. One of the other people, Frida, another weaver, joins in and tells you that, yeah, the Red Brands, they hassle everyone in town, but the fact that they've gone as far as murdering a man in the streets. It terrifies us, and we just don't know what to do. We hope that someone can help bring law and order to Phandalin. And they kind of all collectively. There's a miner there. There's a kid who's one of the kids. He's actually was really excited about the song, and here's it. And they all kind of are like, maybe if we all get together and talk to the town master, maybe we can try to get some reward for you to help us. We really do need some help.
Can I just to be safe, can I roll like, I guess, perception to see if there's anybody that I feel may go tell?
Oh, go tell the Red Brands?
Yeah.
Insight?
Insight, yeah.
Yeah, sure.
You told me not to get in trouble.
Yeah,
17.
absolutely all telling the truth. These are all local townspeople.
They're not going to go tell.
They're not going to go tell the Red Brands. They despise the Red Brands, and it's very obvious from this like emotional retelling from the stone, from the innkeeper's wife, and from the other weaver, and even the barmaid says, they're kind of like tossing out like, maybe you could go ask Darren Edermath. He's the orchard keeper. He used to be an adventurer. Maybe he would help you guys take care of them. Like, we really don't have anything other than the hands we work the fields with to do anything about this. And like they said, they sent word for help, and they haven't seen anyone.
May I ask, was there anyone specific you were looking for with the Lords of Lions? Lords of Lions. What?
Oh shit. Yeah, I messed up on something. I gotta retcon one or two things. We're gonna say Sildar hasn't been here yet to rent that room, so he had 2 rooms. Because they would have known he would have said that he was from the Lords Alliance. They haven't seen him at this point, so I'm sorry about that. But no, they weren't looking for someone. Just the town master had sent word for someone to come, and they were requesting from the Lords Alliance, which is like a collection of the different lords of the cities in the area: Waterdeep, Yartar, Neverwinter. There's some other cities in their area.
Sure. I happened. Okay, so I happen to know of 2 members of that faction in this town right now. One does have to leave with me in the morning, but we are leaving the other one with us, or with you, until we return. He is the one that I had promised is looking to establish law and order here for you.
The miner perks up and is like, they've sent someone. The Lord's Alliance finally sent someone. Oh, we're so thankful. I can't believe he's here in town. Did you guys hear that? I wonder if he'll take care of this murderer off the streets. This is great news. And they sent 2 people. Oh, that's exciting. Maybe they'll even take care of those orcs that are harassing the town on the East Trail. Like, this is great. They're all generally pretty fucking stoked to hear that somebody from the Lord's Alliance has come after all. And
speaking to the room, I do want to say, my friends, I'm happy that I can bring you, good tidings and hopeful news. But we do have a pressing matter that we must attend to in the morning before we can do anything else. So, but I do promise you, we intend to be back.
The barmaid, kind of gossipy and snippy, kind of looks at you like, oh, you're just more mercenaries, probably. Maybe we can get enough money together to get you to help us. And she kind of walks off to go clean dishes and things.
I mean, look, you'll see, I guess. But
their generally mood has gone up, down, back down. They've had a roller coaster. Lennar, the miner, orders a drink.
I'm gonna order a drink, and say, like I said, one of their members is staying with you guys when we leave. So you have that person to be here with you. If there's any man or woman who would stand with him, I'm sure he would appreciate the help.
Well, maybe Darren Endermath at the Orchard will help us, or maybe we could finally convince Halia to take action here in the city. She's the only person that the Red Brands don't seem to just won't cross paths with.
Was that the miners like guild?
The Miners
Person?
Exchange, yeah.
Okay. Well, I've met her earlier, and we have what am I trying to say?
He says that mug of ale will cost you 4 copper.
Sure. I will give him 5.
Thank you. Accepts the tip. A little tip.
We met her earlier. We are. What am I trying to say? What we want aligns. So I can't think of how to say that properly. So
Just tell me what you want to say. You know,
I'm basically trying to say like our wants align. Like I had met her earlier. We both want the same thing. So I will speak with her and see what we can accomplish.
Okay. Generally, they're going to be like happier the more you tell them, "Yeah, I'm going to help you," and then less happy the less you don't agree to be to say you were going to take care of it with them. I know. I'm just kind of throwing that out there. That's what it is. I'm not going to be the greatest at role playing each individual one of these guys.
Well, how dare you?
I know. I suck. I'm the worst. There's too many people in this room for me to be like.
I just like role playing. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
No, I'm sorry that I'm not.
I will just continue drinking my beer. Somebody else can have a turn.
So they're here, and then, yeah. Let's see. Yeah, unless you want to talk to anyone in particular around, that would be pretty much what you would know from those conversations. They're excited that they're still excited that somebody from the Lord's Alliance is there, because that's who they called to for help.
They're excited that somebody from the Lord's Alliance is there. I understand that they are all against the Red Brands.
Especially because they murdered some poor woodcarver in the street.
Yeah, and that they want help. So,
yeah. None of them really has the money to offer you anything to do something about it. They're just hoping you do it out of the good of your heart.
I'm not. Yeah. Hey, you know what? Sometimes you got to be patient.
Yeah, right? This is not what they wanted to hear. But that's all right.
I think the only person with me is Sparkle Gem, so I don't know.
Oh yeah, so Sparkle Gem. Is there anything else you would do here? Anybody in particular? You're just gonna keep playing the music after try to bring the mood back up?
Yep, just gonna try and bring the mood back up, and then once nightfall hits, let me know.
Okay, and then Jerk, are we gonna try and do your solo quests out to the scary ass motherfucker?
So basically, I just want to.
Tell me what you're trying to do here. Well, it might bring us back over to the town map. And maybe you could ping me a couple things and give me a description of this. You know generally where the Sleeping Giant Tavern tap room is.
And I forgot like my background as well. I kind of like know the seedy places and can navigate a town instantly, quickly and quietly.
It's a small town. You weren't going to have any trouble with that anyways. So you're fine to know generally where it is.
Go to the Sleeping Giant Tat Room, and basically I'm just going to try to be as low key and as quietly as I can. I just want to eavesdrop on people and see what I can find out about Glassstaff and the Red Brands.
Okay, so you're gonna try and stealth up to this building.
Well, no, I don't need
Like
to stealth
sneaking
up
up to
there.
this building, or are you just walking
No,
up
no,
down
just-
down the road up to this path?
A big part of stealth that people don't usually realize is stealthy is just blending in.
All right. This, this is a town road. This is a small frontier town. There's not a lot of people out on the street, so you're going to tell me how you would stealthily sneak up on a mostly empty street. You gotta wait for somebody to go
Oh,
by,
no.
or
I just straight walk into the tavern and I sit at the bar. I do everything I can not to draw attention to myself. Is it busy? What's the scene
okay.
there?
So you're walking. If you're gonna walk straight up the street
Just
to
walk
the
into the
sleeping tavern, you're heading from the west to the east. We are at the Sleeping Giant tap room. I gotta grab your character from somewhere else and copy and paste him over here. The last place you guys was the Hill Giants place. Here's Jerk. How many? You have more hit points than this now. I'm gonna mark the new one with this. And you are just traveling down the path. So I'm gonna put you there, which means I'm gonna open up a bunch of this. So bear with me for a second.
So it showed up on my screen, but the fog of war is covering half of it.
What is it?
The fog of war is covering the majority of the screen.
Yeah, I'm revealing it now. Are you able to see most of this?
Yes.
You don't see inside the building, right?
No.
Yeah, you wouldn't see out inside the building as you're walking by. But as you walk by, on the porch to the sleep. Oh wait, do you not see them?
No.
Yeah, you do.
I just have a
Oh, we got some fog of war going on here.
that's what I said.
Wait, you guys only see fog of war,
No, I
we
see
see
the
rocks
building.
and we see the building.
and you don't see three red brands on the
Yeah.
porch.
No.
Nope.
That's
Wrong,
weird.
wrong layer again.
No,
one last time.
no, I got that layer. You guys should have most of those trees uncovered, and I'm doing it. I mean, if you were looking at the stream, you'd see too much.
We have
Should.
this area that's not revealed.
Yeah, that's behind the building. He can't
And
see.
then
He
there's
can't
the
see behind the
bar.
building. You see
And
the
there's
porch?
nothing here.
There's nothing on the porch.
Nope.
No.
What did I do differently with this? All right, let me. Oh, okay. Advanced fog of war compared to fog of war. I got it now because advanced fog of war works off of. Take a wild guess.
It's the screen's black.
Yeah, advanced fog of war works differently, and so I have to have lights and stuff set up.
Oh.
But I don't have lights and stuff set up on advanced fog of war. That's a whole way more complicated thing I have to do.
That is really neat, though. So they've got like a whole thing based on lighting.
Yeah, which I have not bothered to get working yet.
Well, shit. I was under the impression this was just a bar that the townsfolk would go drink at.
Yeah. So as you are walking down the street and you approach the building, you see three of the red brands, three men in grimy red cloaks sitting there drinking and kind of not roughhousing each other, like being loud at one another.
Razzing each other.
Yeah. I was like, it is your fucking fault. Nah. And you did it. But as they see you approach, their attention turns to you.
Okay. I just keep walking into the bar.
No.
I'm just going to get a drink.
Okay. Why don't you go ahead? You got control of that character, I believe. Go ahead.
Okay.
Bring him up. You walk straight up to the porch. You're going to walk up towards the bar. You're going to get to about here.
Okay.
And the Red Brands are going to stand in your way. And they stop you. And they look you up and down. Put a hand on their swords. Each one's carrying a short sword. Each of them has a hand on it now. They've ignored their drinks. And they look at you and go, what do you want?
I say, tavern closed.
You better damn well believe it. Why don't you move along, friend?
I ain't your friend, pal.
I ain't your pal, buddy.
I ain't your buddy, brother.
Trying to think of some way I can ingratiate my way. I asked him, how much would a drink cost here?
All the gold you have, little man.
Then I walk away.
Don't you have like really decent deception though, or like not deception but persuasion?
Yeah, I've got good perception. I've got good.
Like,
I've got good perception.
just try to persuade them.
Can I try to like,
do what you want?
can I try to bullshit my way into the bar?
You could try anything you want
okay,
to
so
try.
I
I'll
tell
tell
him,
you what we would roll to see if it works.
I tell him, look, I'm from out of town. I've only been here for a couple hours, and I've already heard of you gentlemen. I think I
And
want
what? And you what? These gentlemen? I'm sorry.
I've already heard of you gentlemen. You have a bit of a reputation. I just want to sit and have a drink with you and see what's what.
The one
if
in
you
this.
don't want me, I say, if you don't want me to come in, that's acceptable. I'll leave. But I think I may have some skills to offer you and your compatriots.
Okay. With that last part, you would roll them a deception, unless you really are trying to join the Red Brands, in which
Well,
case
it
roll
would-
persuasion.
It would be deception. Oh, fuck!
Oh no!
Inspiration.
Damn. Yeah. Do you have inspiration?
No, I already used it.
Fuck.
I used it to hit on a girl.
So the one in the center looks to his left, and he looks to his right, and he says, "Gentlemen." And he laughs. And the other one says, "What was the other thing you said? Gentlemen and your
Compatriots.
compatriots or something." They say that, and then they laugh, and he just shoves you back with his hand. And he says, "I'll tell you what. I'll let you live if you throw down all your weapons."
Oh,
You can
shit,
see
man.
the look in his eyes is a little glassy.
All right,
Wait,
Oh.
so he's trying to intimidate you.
You take the dash action.
well, no, we're not in combat. I can't take a dash action yet.
Are they
Did you-
drunk?
I mean, you could just run, and you're not in combat. You haven't rolled initiative, so nobody's getting attack of opportunity. But he does roll a 19 on his intimidation roll towards
Oh, fuck.
you.
Alright.
You would have to make a save, otherwise you're pretty intimidated by the situation.
Are they?
Yeah, they're drunk. So I toss my whip down and I turn around and walk away.
Well, do you?
No, that's what I do. Is I just
Okay.
drop my whip and I turn around and walk away.
I was just gonna ask if you have any sort of advantage because they're drunk and you're sober.
They would probably actually. He would have disadvantage, which means his. Thank you. Actually, his disadvantage means his roll. Is only a 7 on intimidation. You notice he's drunk when he's
No.
like, "I'll let you live if you throw out on your weapons and leave."
Okay, so yeah, I toss my my
He only
whip
rolled-
down and I just leave.
Sure.
Is that how I do it? All right.
He only
Well,
rolled.
yeah, I
he only
mean,
rolled
I-
a 7, man.
He
Yeah,
wasn't.
but
He wasn't very
I-
intimidating, but it doesn't mean he's not going to attack him eventually.
Yeah, exactly. Like if I
Right,
try to go in
sure.
there, they're gonna bum rush me.
But
and I
also,
don't-
like, does he have a disadvantage to being persuaded or
Oh yeah, that's a
deceived?
good question. Like, should I roll?
That's my
again 'cause I had
that was
advantage?
that was my
He
point in
would
bringing this
have
up.
on a. So if it would have been a wisdom saving, it would be a wisdom saving throw, and he'd have disadvantage on it. No, a charisma saving throw? Persuasion?
If you're trying to deceive
Yeah, versus his
somebody,
charisma. So
would be charisma.
Oh,
So, would I
so
have
so the question is,
advantage?
does his disadvantage on ability checks give him no? You still have to beat his. You still have to beat his DC, which would be
Yeah, but if
11.
he's a
So what did you hit? But you didn't
disadvantage,
hit.
would that
You didn't
give
even
me
hit the 11.
advantage?
You didn't
Yeah,
hit the
no, he-
11. The drunk guy was still
Okay.
Was still
Alright.
on
Well,
there.
yeah, but,
So yeah,
but would his drunkenness give me advantage on a deception?
it
So
might
should I
have just
roll again?
it might have just let you. No, it wouldn't have given you advantage. You still he would have it on a saving throw. So your perception, if he had to do a saving throw rather than beat it, so I could do saving throws for him and then give you 2 advantage on what your score was. 2 plus 5,
That's cool.
7. So he's got to beat 7 with disadvantage. So that would be 10, and that would be 19. So he was not persuaded by your.
Okay, well
your
then, yeah,
attack.
yeah. Then I drop my whip and I walk away.
Drop your whip. You walk away.
Yeah, it was a failed attempt. But
They start hollering at you. Oh, that's right, boy. That's right. They're shouting at you as you walk away. He picks up your whip and he starts whipping it around his head.
as I'm walking
Wait,
away,
hold on. I want to see.
does he hurt himself, please?
With disadvantage, he whips the guy next to him. He calls him an asshole. And now they're back to fighting with each other and they're ignoring you.
Is there another way in?
Thank you for doing that.
Where did you walk away to? Take control of your character.
I'm just walking away. So I'm.
You're
walking
just gonna
this
walk
way.
back to the building?
I'm gonna walk around the building.
You're gonna walk around the building that way?
Yeah.
There is a door in the back. It looks like it might lead into the kitchen.
Try that.
You want to check the door, see if it's locked?
Yeah, just to see. Yeah.
The door is locked. So I would reveal what you can see over here too. Obviously, this is a building.
Motherfucker, I rolled so bad.
So that is a locked door
I mean,
to a kitchen, to a business that's currently open.
Is there another side door, perchance? I just walk around the building.
Keep going around the building.
Yeah. I stop here so they can't see me.
And I'll give you the rest of this corner and everything that's not inside the building. There is a door on that side of the building. It is another entrance. Wait. Yep, that's a door on the side of the building. No, those are windows. Oh my gosh, there was a window in the back. I'm sorry. I'm an idiot. There's a window on the side of the building. You
Okay,
look
so-
inside and you see. Sorry, messing it up. You see inside the building? I'm just gonna fuck it. You see inside the building. It's dumb. See inside the building, there are 4 more red brands inside, and the shopkeeper who runs the bar, a dwarf, female dwarf.
All right, so it's just all red brands.
should have gone with that disguise.
I'm gonna go back to the hotel and I'm gonna disguise myself. I should have gone with that disguise.
You're already deep in the rolls now, man.
None of the drunken assholes see you looking in the window.
So I know from seeing through the window, I know that there's only the proprietress in the back. Could I go try to use the thief tools at the back door?
I was wrong because you could see now that there's the door that's in the front and those are windows. So there was a
Oh, those are
window
both
in the
just
back.
windows?
I was just a dumbass.
All right. Well,
Is the
how about I just come here and quietly listen to whatever the fuck they're talking about for a couple minutes. See if they mention anything about Glass Staff, their leader, or
All right.
anything I can get.
At first, they're definitely arguing about who gets the whip. The ones like you obviously can't use it, fucking moron. You know, they're just sort of harassing each other. They're very not great people, so they don't treat each other well, just like they don't treat the townspeople well. They argue over the whip for a while, and then one of them pulls out some dice and they start throwing dice for it. See who gets it.
While they're doing
they
that,
talk about
I also want to look around since they're slobs. Apparently, are
Yeah.
there any like tankards or like glasses from the bar laying outside?
roll me your perception really fast so I can give you kind of a general idea, and then mostly your stealth roll right now because you're trying to remain hidden yet peek around a corner. So this was your stealth roll. Haha.
That was okay. That was my stealth roll then.
Yeah.
So it's
So you're able to look around the corner and you see, yeah, their tankards that they've been having out are sitting there.
Okay, so
That would have made it too. You would have beaten all their passive perceptions.
I want to snatch one or two of them up.
You want to try and sneak over to them, go around
You know
the
what,
corner.
grab one?
No, like if they're around here by me on the side of the building. Because
They're,
if
they're
this is
by
the place-
them on the.
No,
There's a
they're-
couple chairs, and they're sitting on the chairs, and their drinks are next to them.
Well, I just meant like empty ones because this is they're shitty
they
people.
kinda-
They may drop things on the ground, that kind of thing.
Yeah, and they're going back to their chairs outside. So.
All right, well, I guess that's
I mean,
the-
yeah, there's stuff in the ground, but you'd lose your stealth by going and being out in front of them again, and probably run the risk of whatever they'd say. I think would be pretty obvious to your character at this point.
Yeah, yeah.
With your perception, is that plus 3? So 13.
Mhm.
Are you looking for anything else on the like?
Well, I'm looking for something that'll hold liquid, like that someone had discarded when they were leaving this area. I want to offer him a drink.
Oh, I got you. I mean, their drinks are next to them. You could try and go back and talk to them and like sleight of hand one up, and then
Ow!
leave. But
Sleight of hand is +5.
I mean, so you might be successful at that, but then you're gonna have to worry
But I
about
have to
this.
re-engage them.
Yeah, and they've already been dealing with you once.
They're already assholes too, so.
Mm-hmm.
You know what? I want to give it another go. What do I have to offer them? Ooh. No, they probably don't care about teeth.
I feel like that's a great out of context line.
Somebody
Just a little
put that-
highlight there.
Right? That should be a quote of the day. They really don't care about teeth.
Yeah, no, I got nothing. So at that point, if since I haven't learned anything, I just go back to the end. We're gonna call it a wash. I'm not getting myself in trouble.
Okay, so you stick around for a few minutes. Basically, they're arguing about who gets their whip. They start gambling for it, and then you take off.
Can I
Go back around the building.
I really want to go over here and just get like one solid stealth attack on him and then leave. But no, that's not gonna work. So I just go home.
Okay. So you're leaving.
Yeah, I'm leaving.
Because I was just trying to think of like, how would they react to this person who they just chased off, and then he peers back in front. He did just leave the whip. They're pretty satisfied with that. They probably try and get more stuff from you. Like,
I kind of want to offer them something else just to go in and talk to them, but I don't have anything else that's worth any money or worth anything.
All right.
Yeah, you just got to remember that they're wasted.
Yeah. So,
So you might be able to trick them, but if you don't want to try it, then don't do it. If you're
Yeah,
not
you would-
comfortable with it,
Oh,
Yeah,
I have
he's
lots of beef jerky. They're probably hungry.
Jerky is really good when you're drunk.
Do they seem hungry?
you have to roll a perception check for that.
Yeah, I'll roll
did. He
perception.
had. Well, no, you had yours. It was 13.
13 plus.
They seem as hungry as drunk people might be.
All right, so I'll
You did not see any food that was around them, just their drinks.
I'll come back to about here, so I'm still out of like I'm not in close distance. Like, hey guys, you seemed kind of hungry, and we got off on the wrong foot. If you let me in, just because I really want to drink, I'll give you some jerky.
This is a new deception check, right?
No, I'm actually gonna give.
This would
them
be
jerky.
persuasion.
I mean,
because
so I really want to drink,
he's
I
not
mean,
deceiving them,
right?
He's
So
just,
this is a persuasion check.
yeah, because
and
he's
they're
actually going to
gonna
give them
have
the
a-
jerky.
How do you
Deception
even-
would have been better.
So yeah, I mean, you're saying like, hey guys, I want to give you this jerky if you let me in to have a drink.
14.
3, 13.
14.
What? 14?
14.
Your persuasion's plus 2.
Deception's plus 4.
What are you deceiving them about?
What-
Drinking.
Deception and persuasion are both bonused off of charisma. How would
Yeah.
it be different?
One's proficient, one isn't.
Oh.
He's actually not proficient in any of them, so
I'm gonna go in
technically
there and
technically he wouldn't have his bonus on it because he's not proficient in it. So it would just be
10.
a roll. Yeah.
Well- They're gonna yell at me again.
They have disadvantage, so
Right? First one fails. Second one fails. Third one fails. So they're just like, oh, you came back to give us some more stuff, huh? Yeah, why don't you come and give us your money? Get a few drinks. Play a few card games with us, maybe. Let's see. I think I might like those daggers that are on your waist, too.
I say the daggers
But
are
they
mine, but
might
here's
let
some
you-
jerky. And I give them all a piece of jerky.
Giving them a piece of jerky. They
Yeah.
take each of it. I'm assuming you approach them.
Yeah, I have to approach them.
Yeah. So where you move to?
I move to right here, and I hand them all a piece of jerky.
The other one moves here around you. Like, yeah. Come on inside. Come on inside. Maybe we'll see what else you got. This will be fun.
How far is my dash?
And then one of the other guys shouts in. He's like, "Hey guys, we're making friends out here. You should come meet our new friend. Hey, new friend, what's your name, little puppy?"
I'm gonna die. My name is Jerk.
Jerk. His name's Jerk. His name's actually Jerk. You guys, you gotta meet this thing.
This thing?
I don't know. They're just assholes. And they start approaching you from outside. You are not currently in combat.
All right.
What do you do?
Well, all right. I stay where I am. I
These
asked
other
the
guys,
bar-
the other guys have left their drinks on the tables and are coming up, and you could see them from where you're at. They're approaching you as well.
I asked the barkeep for a round for my new friends. I just shout inside. I'm like, barkeep, round for my new friends.
She's
And,
been she's watched this from across the bar. She heard them shouting, and she goes, "That'll be 7 gold."
oh shit. I don't want to see my gold. You know what? It's worth it.
You got to play it cool, man.
I'm not walking in there. You know what? Fuck it. If I die, I die.
Can I take a turn?
Ballsy. I mean,
Or is this
this is a thing. You guys have been talking in the bar and playing music, or over at the inn playing music and talking to everybody over there.
this all happening
Jerk
at the
went off
same
into
time?
this. Yeah, and then
Should I go to the
Bear and
bar?
Godwall are over at their mom's house.
So I don't have any
This is
chance.
why you never split the party.
So I don't have. There's no chance that I could, at some point, be like, he's been gone for a while. I'm gonna go check on him.
Yeah, but let's say that
I
conversation
could
with
get
you,
through
the
there.
music playing, like let's say that took like that's
I could
still
dash
that
and
would
I could
still be
escape.
going on. He's basically walked up, thrown his whip down when they threatened him, went around the
Walked
building,
around the
came back
building.
up into them, and then now they've surrounded him and are ushering him into the building as he has requested to be ushered
All
in.
right. The only option you
know
have.
what? I'm gonna play it. I'm gonna play it as best as I can.
You got to play it cool, man.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I go. I
They're
go
at
up
a
to the bar.
disadvantage.
I
Which
just
is
walk straight through them to the bar, and I drop my bag of 22 gold on the bar, and I say, "Barkeep, this is for our party."
So because you offered a round for your new friends, she said that'll be 7 gold, which is way more than 7 ales would cost. And
Well, I
then you
say-
came up.
Hold on,
I
I say,
think-
"This is for our party," and I wink at her, and I just drop the bag of 22 gold on the bar.
You drop your bag of 22 gold in the bar. The rest of the red brands have come inside because they're planning on harassing the shit out of you and to getting their drunk
Well, hold
jollies
on.
off. So you offer them beer.
Convince them that we're having a happy good time.
I mean, maybe I'm just saying, like, this is kind of where
Should
they're
I be
headed.
an
I'm trying.
asshole?
I shouldn't think out loud. They follow you in. You throw the bag of gold on, and you wink at or you're trying to communicate to the bartender. So you give her your
Yes.
bag of gold. She picks up your bag of gold. She puts up her, feels the weight of it in her hands. Takes a look in. She goes, "All right, boys, you're drinking for free tonight."
So I turn around and I go,
Closes
"Who's
up.
doing it your way, boys?"
Puts it up, and this has got to be. I mean, I can't. I guess I could roll the rest of that would roll if your persuasion roll worked with them. Roll me persuasion for the 4 of these guys in the bar in this statement. Like, who wants to drink with me?
I feel like I should have an advantage because they're all drunk as shit and they want to get drunk.
You do.
You would. Their saving throws will have disadvantage.
Shit.
22.
Dun, dun, dun,
Alright.
dun.
Okay, so let me see. Can I beat a 22? No. Although that one was 17, he would have. That's 11 and 15. Nope. I got an 8 and a 5. Definitely not him. And a 3 and a 4. Definitely not him.
All right, so
They're all
me
like,
and-
they're all like, hey! We're drinking on this jerk tonight. Hey!
that's my name.
You just saved your fucking ass, dude.
So I just
And
we throw
they-
a ranger like no one has ever seen in
And
Vandalin
you-
before.
And you drink with the red brands. for a while, and they continue to drink. Do you drink?
Yeah.
They do.
I have one in
want
my
to
hand
play.
at all times.
Let's see. They kind of gesture you over to this table, where enough of them can kind of be at the table with you, and then the rest of them are around here, so that they can all get their drinks in. They're
right.
purposefully kind of trying to bully you into the corner, but are happy that they're drinking for free and that their intimidation, they think, has worked on you. It kind of did.
All right, so
but and you drink for a while, I guess. What?
I always have a beer in my hand, but I'm not drinking quickly.
Okay.
And I just kind of like I listen to what they're saying around me, and I try to glean any kind of information I can about what they're doing, about Glassstaff, especially like who he is, and I just kind of like try to weasel my way into them.
So you're trying to investigate what they're doing around town.
Yeah.
That's a tough one. I don't know that they're gonna talk business with you at the moment.
Well, we're not
that's
talking business.
20 and that. So give me an idea of what you say here, because I think that's gonna be all the way. Like, I want to try and investigate. Like, I have not prepared for the situation, obviously.
Well, when I'm in there, I'm basically
They start playing dice. They're drinking. They're playing dice, and they're talking about what a jerk is, and they think it's the funniest thing on the planet. They keep repeating this joke over and over, as they all are quite intoxicated. And they start talking about how they wish there was some whores in this town. This is a 2-bit town.
My investigation is +2. Like, everything else is better than that.
I'm gonna say, yeah. So then he's in here for some time with them drinking, and he's spending some time in here. With Talison's question of saying like, "Hey, where have they been?" and Pubert and Godwald asking, "All right, like, we're gonna go. Our mom says we could stay here tonight. This is great, free food and board." You could investigate over at the inn where you knew that some people were going, and meet up at the inn. So let's be at the inn with. Oh my gosh, you guys are crazy. Let's be at the inn with.
Taliesin and Sparkle Gem are at the end.
Taliesin and Sparkle Gem at the inn.
I'm gonna sneak off the one.
You guys are here. You guys arrive. Pubert, Godwald, Taliesin, Sparkle Gem. You're all
I
here.
really gotta.
Was this the next morning?
No. This is later that evening. All of the events, the things that you guys have gone through have happened. All the events that Chris has gone through have happened. He is there drinking with the Red Brands. You do not know that, but you do know that all the stuff that's happened to you guys over the last minute. So you guys could basically tell each other what you know. And then wonder where he is at. Because maybe you spend some time here. Let's say another like 15 minutes. You know this town is small and it's easy to walk to and from. And did he tell you guys? Jerk? Did Jerk tell Taliesin Sparkle?
We discussed that, yeah.
Okay, so you guys know he's been there and he hasn't come back.
Okay.
And you also know everything that you learned here at the inn, and that Pubert is feeling lucky.
Look, I really have. I have an early day tomorrow, and this is a lull.
Yeah.
I really gotta get off.
I hate to say it, I'm kind of in the same boat.
All right.
I just saw what time it is.
Or something.
All right. We're gonna leave Jerk sitting in the den of red vipers, and we'll. Did you hear that, Jerk? Well, I gotta tell him this. Did you hear that, Jerk?
I did not. What?
We're gonna leave you sitting in the den of the Red Vipers for a while.
Oh no, I felt it. I talked for a while. We did our thing. I'm
No, because it's time for a few of our party members to go to bed. So
Oh no, I'm
yeah.
stuck there.
So you're there for now.
I mean, you'll
we're,
get there.
we're going by with the fact that they met up here at the inn. They communicated everything they knew to each other, and then after a little while, they know that you went off to there, but you haven't come back.
Be ready with money, fellas.
And that's where we are going to leave off for tonight, and then pick up for next time.
All right.
Yeah.
Woo! Yeah,
We're gonna come rescue you, Chris.
Yeah.
I don't need rescued yet, guys. I don't need rescued.
How are we
yet.
gonna fuck this up for Chris?
I mean, yeah, you guys are kind of like just there,
I mean,
right? Like,
I feel like you're in a position to where you can
If
get
I
them to
roll
like
right,
you.
I can do very well here. I could walk out with my own red cloak.
Oh yeah, you
I
could.
mean, yeah,
you really could.
You really
but
like.
we're gonna fuck it up for you.
But that 20 roll was like really what saved you from this
Yeah.
turning south. And I mean,
that
it makes sense, right? Like you just were like, these guys are gonna kick my ass. Here's all my money, drink, and they're like, woo!
Yeah.
Like we're assholes, and they're celebrating it.
Well, I'm super glad that you didn't let me keep going because I was gonna actually do this to my face, like I'm an asshole too.
I didn't stop you in anything, did I?
There's a difference between people being assholes and
And being
people being
racist?
racist against
Yeah.
your race. So I wouldn't have done that.
All right, so next time I'm surrounded by drunken idiots
Yeah.
who
Yep.
I'm gonna try to sleight of hand one of them that potion.
Oh, you got the potion? You guys did that little transference?
Yeah, they did.
All right.
That's gonna
Yeah.
be fun.
All
right,
right,
guys.
well, there we go. That's where we'll leave off. We'll pick up in the Stonehill Tavern or the
Hey, man.
Stonehill Inn next time.
It's fun, man. We gotta keep like just doing weird, unexpected shit.
Yeah, that was great.
Yeah.
I love it.
That's what
Makes it
D&D is all
interesting.
about.
Makes it interesting.
Mhm.
I'm
All
so
right.
dead.
See you guys. Nah, you're fine.
Alright.
You're fine. You got 3 people who can heal. You'll be fine.
And I mean, and they are no longer, well, like
Hostile?
immediately. Yeah, they're not exactly hostile to you. I mean,
Yeah, they're not really trying
Yeah.
to fight you.
they really that
Alright,
kind of
okay.
turned your way.
I feel like
Alright.
you could get them to like you pretty easily.
And that's what I'm going for.
If I can get a direwolf to like me, then you can do this.
All right.
Yeah, you got this. Until we fuck it up for you.
Magic hand,
It just
only
runs in and just
digital.
like.
Ah.
Just, Hugh
Hugh
Bear
Bear
just
try-
busts
runs
in the
in-
door and he's like,
Starts
"Jack,
fighting
have you
people.
defeated all of the Red Brands yet, as we planned?"
All right. See you guys.
All right.
All right, take it easy,
Night,
guys.
guys.
See you guys later.
That's great. That's perfect. I'm gonna shut the stream down. Good night, internet.
Good night, internet.